In the political commentary space, there are few as detested and as untrustworthy as Jeremy Hambly. He is Schrodinger's grifter, wealthy when there is doubt about his net worth, yet poor when fundraising through the guise of desperation.
$80,000 in equipment. I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt. I'm saying I make well over $1 million a year just on coffee.
Jeremy has an extensive history of fundraising for every facet of his business, but also a history of videos displaying his over $10,000 RC track with custom baseball mixed dirt, his $10,000 in trading card packs, which he opens live, and his saltwater fish tank devoid of living fish but not of aggressive monetization.
Here is the fish funeral fund.
Coverage of Jeremy's spending habits is often coupled with stories of his struggles with irritable bowel syndrome and his penchant for urinating around his home.
When you have no mortgage on your beautiful home, you can pee in it wherever you want. And the fact that they think this is some kind of own is weird. It's never something I denied.
The combined decline of viewership, revenue, and respect for him have induced more outbursts, furthering his decline, and increased interest in his history which he desires to conceal. So who is Jeremy Hambly? What truly motivates him? And why does he have over 10 channels spread across his nearly 2 decades on YouTube? An important part of grifting is to sell with confidence or with purpose, not in the belief of the product, but for the sake of personal gain. Jeremy Hambly in the 2000s discovered that he was seemingly good at 2 things: computer repair through his employment at a computer repair shop and persuasion.
This is a type of skill that I had realized working fixing computers, that I was good with people. I was good with sales, I was good with relationships, I was really good at relating to people.
Jeremy, in enrolling in management computer systems courses at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, discovered he was not good at 2 things, just one.
It was really just hardcore coding, which I'm awful at.
Jeremy struggled with his programming classes, often skipping classes to instead stay home and drink. In a single semester, he was placed under scholastic probation as his grade point average dipped below what the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater was willing to accept. Jeremy, through a tribunal, was given a chance to explain why he should be allowed to return to the college.
I decided to go into my tribunal and say, like, look, I'm changing my major. I think I'd be really good in marketing, and here are the many reasons why. I also said, I'm having problems with my girlfriend and being away from home because I knew how to play on people's heartstrings, you know?
Jeremy's emotional plea worked. He returned to the school to study marketing. Jeremy was refining his craft, claiming that he excelled in his marketing courses, eventually graduating with a Bachelor in Arts in Marketing in 2005 and a Master's of Business Administration in Marketing in 2007. It was this same year that Jeremy created his first YouTube channel, combining his college degrees and his experience with computers.
The first video in our series, From the Eyes of a Computer Tech.
Be Your Own IT was a channel primarily made to convince viewers to visit Jeremy's website, BeYourOwnIT.com. In both areas, Jeremy heavily promoted his personal computer repair courses, laptop repair courses, and even a guide on how to start a computer repair business. Eventually, he would sell the physical tools needed for computer repair. Among the hundreds of videos encompassing guides, general information on computer components, and advice, few would be archived. The videos that were would haunt Jeremy for decades.
At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't really know if there's any tack way to put that. The point of this video is just to remind people that, you know, as techs, we read your emails, so to speak. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying it happens. So if you have things that you don't want computer techs to see, you know, maybe change the folder name when you take it in if you can.
While some would see this video as informative in how computer techs have access to users' personal information, others would, eventually, view this as Jeremy, per his specific example, advising predators on how not to get caught. For the time being, this video was buried under popular tutorial videos of questionable quality. Jeremy soon moved on from this channel, not from disinterest, but rather the interest of who Jeremy claims was a venture capitalist, or VC.
Some VC guy bought that channel from me, and I think I got $160,000. So I got a big check. This was when I was 22 years old, 23 years old.
Side note, It is impossible for Jeremy to sell that YouTube channel at the age of 22 or 23. With his year of birth being 1983, it would place the transaction in 2005 or 2006, a year or two before his channel was even created. Regardless, Jeremy's claim does seem to hold some merit. As early as 2011, there were different hosts on the Be Your Own IT channel. With this potential transaction, the possible selling of the Be Your Own IT channel, something changed with Jeremy's outlook on YouTube. Suddenly, channel growth could translate directly to revenue. The grift, as it were, was not entirely in the selling of products through his personal websites. It could now also be to sell a channel and the website coupled to it. This could explain RC Nightmare, a channel established August 27, 2010. As Be Your Own IT drew from Jeremy's experience with computers, RC Nightmare drew from Jeremy and his best friend Brandon's enthusiasm for RC cars, specifically higher-end, customizable remote control vehicles, some with the ability to surpass 100 miles per hour. Jeremy and Brandon began by uploading videos focusing on unboxing cars and tutorial videos on how to optimize or install components. Brandon was adept in the verbal and physical breakdown of the vehicles. From the aerodynamics to even the thermodynamics, Brandon speedily named off components and even their composition. Jeremy, however, often spoke of personal anecdotes and the superficial qualities of the vehicles, sometimes even struggling to remove the vehicle from its cardboard platform.
This time I'm actually a little bit better prepared to get this thing out of here. So I won't do my fat guy struggles bit. Albeit, I know that's a crowd pleaser. Oh, maybe you will see. Maybe you'll get a little taste here.
Brandon's videos of this sort often outperformed Jeremy's. Regardless, there was not as much demand for information on remote control vehicles as there was computer repair. Naturally, this was an issue. Without significant traffic, Jeremy could not grow his accompanying website rcnightmare.com, making it both difficult to sell and more difficult to bring advertisers on too. While Jeremy did utilize his tested strategy of nearly daily uploads, he also found a new way to boost both his channel's growth and his website's growth, even if it was artificial.
Every 250 subscribers we get on YouTube, we're going to give away a truck, up to 10 trucks. If we get all the subscribers in the next week, we'll give them all away this week. All that we ask is that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, come over to our forum, have at least 10 posts in the forum. Now these can be questions, comments, or answers, and reply to one blog post. That's it.
This strategy appeared to have worked. Jeremy announced a winner on November 16, 2010, and a different set of winners in January 2011. 117 participants amounts to over 1,000 forum posts. Just 1 month later, Jeremy made another RC-related channel, focusing on RC discussion with both Brandon and Jeremy present. And in June, Jeremy promised free t-shirts to any user that reaches 100 posts on the RC Nightmare forum. These are likely the same t-shirts that could be purchased on the website. Separately, and still in June, Jeremy was running yet another giveaway. Rather than focusing on forum posts, the condition to win was based on referrals, either to RC Nightmare or Friend of RC. Not included was the third channel in the expanding network, under RC Flight School, covering remote control planes. Following this pattern, the RC Skipper channel was created on July 1st, covering remote control boats. These channels, relative to RC Nightmare, saw very little growth, possibly due to their lack of uploads. Though RC Nightmare would see some monetization through advertisements and an online marketplace the following year, Jeremy evidently grew weary of solely focusing on RC vehicles. This explains the existence of Score10bucks.com, a website run by Jeremy. It is also tied to this Twitter account under his name, Jeremy Hambley. As for the website, Jeremy appears to have been drop shipping select DVDs. Quote, "Here's what we're doing with our advertising budget. Instead of building tons of websites to promote these DVD releases or buying up ad space, we spend our budget on $10 gift cards to a major online retailer. Everyone likes free money, and getting $10 for buying a DVD is essentially getting a DVD for free." Unquote. This website, apparent from the lack of updates, was abandoned the same month it was erected. Jeremy, unrelenting, created yet another website known as Marketing Sheriff. As with Be Your Own IT and RC Nightmare, this website had a forum, accompanying tutorials through the Marketing Sheriff YouTube channel, and offered one-on-one consulting. Quote, "Marketing Sheriff also hosts high-level online marketing video lessons. elite contract negotiations, and members-only forums of experts to get your questions answered right away. The Deputy Program is a group of the world's top-performing online marketing, design, contract negotiation, and all things business-oriented." Unquote. According to Jeremy, marketing sheriff and focusing on servicing higher-end clients would be his main revenue stream. Similarly successful was MTG Headquarters, a channel based on the popular trading card game Magic the Gathering.
What's up, guys? Jeremy and Brandon here from MTG Headquarters. That's short for Magic the Gathering. How's it going?
While Brandon would make appearances on MTG Headquarters, this channel was largely run by Jeremy. Rather than focusing on the strategic elements of the game, Jeremy centered his content on unboxing card sets. There were still more channels to be made, such as Team RCN and RCS Spotlight. Both of these channels were soon abandoned, as was the fate for all of Jeremy's RC-related channels. As in early 2013, Brandon had moved, making frequent uploads unfeasible and decreasing Jeremy's passion for the channels.
This will be the last time I explain it. Brandon didn't leave, he got a job. And his job took him to Kentucky, and I'm very happy for him.
The RC videos soon paused across the board. Jeremy claims to have sold an RC channel, but is unspecific with which one.
And then I started a channel about RC cars, and I sold that.
None of the aforementioned channels have seen any uploads outside of Brandon or Jeremy. Perhaps he means he sold a website. Only that too would be devoid of updates for years to come. Even the bottom of the website's homepage displays Brandon and Jeremy as the owners. Whatever the case, the RC channels and website remain largely inactive. Jeremy's focus instead was placed on his Magic the Gathering channel and his vlog/self-improvement channel, Me vs. Me. The latter was established under two goals: to lose weight from a starting point of 346 pounds and to drink less. Jeremy abandoned this channel and possibly his goals in just 3 months. It was here in 2013, with nearly all former projects abandoned, he finally found the success he desperately sought. In making videos opening booster packs to obtain high-value cards, by September 2013, MTG Headquarters reached 25,000 subscribers, making it Jeremy's fastest-growing channel. Like his prior channels, he also created an accompanying website and focused on nearly daily uploads and giveaways.
Gonna do a giveaway coming up. Stay tuned. So, I'm gonna do a little bit of giveaway. Let's get right to it. And that's why I'm doing a giveaway right now, too. I've been trying to give these away, which are the event decks. Jeremy here from MTG Headquarters doing another sicko giveaway. I mean, obviously I kept the rares, so yeah, I gotta support the channel somehow.
These giveaways still required users to subscribe to MTG Headquarters or the new set of trading card-related channels. These did not perform nearly as well as his MTG channel. It could be because of his lack of knowledge of the other trading card games. In this video alone, he misnames one of the most iconic first-generation Pokemon several times.
Reverse Hollow Charmander, the Reverse Hollow Charmander, and a Reverse Hollow Charmander in the same pack. That happened in a different pack, too.
Though it is possible that Jeremy has grown several channels for the sake of selling them, in a late 2013 vlog, he states it is because he is lonely. This channel could be a distraction to fill the absence of the friendship Brandon provided.
I do YouTube for the community. That's the only reason I do it. I don't do it because I want to make money. Believe me, it's a money pit. I don't do it, I do it to connect with people. I don't, this isn't as pathetic as it sounds, but I don't have friends I have very few friends really in general. And it's not because I wasn't popular, not because it's just life happens. And when you get older, you just don't connect with the same people you used to.
While Jeremy's loneliness is there, as he would later describe it in detail, the motivation to grow his channel was also likely monetary. Whatever the case, no matter how large his channel would get, he would always desire more. Even with MTG Headquarters at 54,000 subscribers, his largest channel ever, it was still not enough.
How do we get to 100,000? How do we continue to fulfill the mission statement that is basically to grow the game and grow such an amazing community? And you guys have been truly awesome. So I've opened the store on the website, but what I've decided to do here is actually use a service that you've probably heard about
called Patreon. I'm going to use it to do amazing things. I've got so many things planned for the website. I'm not going to keep any of it. 100% of it's going to go right back into the site.
Jeremy claims he would use the Patreon money to incorporate applications into the MTG Headquarters website, and to have 5 dedicated writers for it.
I know, it's, God, I hate e-begging. It's annoying, but I just think this is a great way for us to work together to just keep the MTG community getting better and better and better, and get up and take notice, and really put together some awesome tools on MTGHeadquarters.com, which is essentially everybody's website.
Jeremy, now 7 years into creating videos on YouTube, began to refine his approach, where he began simply asking for users to subscribe, and it evolved with giveaways. He was now incorporating purpose and community into his calls to action. Yet there was still room for improvement. His Patreon, as per the Wayback Machine, would not even reach the second milestone. And though Jeremy vowed to grow the MTG community, his efforts and finances were not entirely there. As in late 2014, he created another channel unrelated to Magic the Gathering, trading cards, remote control vehicles, or even tech support.
Hey there, I'm Jeremy, and you've come to that part of YouTube where you might be wondering how the heck you got here. Together, with my beautiful wife and our best friend Brandon, we're about as obsessed with the arcade as anyone, specifically claw machines. So obsessed, in fact, that we've already bought 4 different machines and have them in our houses.
Clawstruck was Jeremy and Brandon's newest channel. Although Brandon had moved away, Jeremy was dead set on moving near him.
Time had passed and I kicked around the idea of moving to Louisville, and well, I've decided that I'm going to do that, and I'm looking for a home there, and it's going to have a big yard, one that I can put RC track in.
For the time being, in early 2015, Jeremy set his sights on yet another project. Not a website or YouTube channel, but an application he named GameFinder. The word Finder is missing an E in the same style of Grindr, the location-based LGBTQ dating app. Likewise, GameFinder was an app for its users to find one another. The criteria were the games users sought to play in person. Jeremy managed to raise $30,000 for the app's development on Kickstarter, and it released just 3 months later.
This isn't a dead application whose owner is cashing in. In fact, the next pro is, in addition to being free, GameFinder currently is without any ads or even an upgrade cost.
That was the professor from the channel Tolarian Community College. Like Jeremy, the professor runs a Magic the Gathering-based channel. This is someone that Jeremy met at a convention earlier in the year. The professor was one of the creators Jeremy got along with. The same could not be said about Wedge from the Mana Source, a creator that cancelled a meeting of fans and creators because Jeremy was to be in attendance. All this is explained in this video from Darium CCG. So even with Jeremy being somewhat infamous in the Magic community, channels like Tolarian Community College were willing to be fair when assessing GameFinder. While the professor praised the app's lack of advertisements or predatory monetization, his complaints echoed the major issues users had with the app, describing it as simplistic and lacking in features. While Jeremy was aware of these complaints and sought to add more social elements to the app's main plight, according to Jeremy, was that it never hit critical mass. It was never able to reach a wider audience on launch day, meaning users would download the app to find few people online. Jeremy claims the app also had budgeting issues, such as spending too much on rewards for Kickstarter backers and too much on the development cost of the app, claiming to have spent $10,000 to $20,000 more of his own money to market it. If what Jeremy says is true, then MTG Headquarters would be more to him than a device for monetary gain. If anything, Jeremy was building a sort of reliance on YouTube. There was something about seeing his channel grow that would excite him, that gave him purpose. This could explain the ever-increasing giveaways, and why he has yet to sell this channel. If growing the channel gives him purpose, then what happens when the growth slows? When the video's earnings begin to drop? The answer is this sort of video.
Earnings are lower now than they were a year and a half or even 2 years ago, I think, for at least for my channel. And I know if you watch guys like Brian or Wedge talk about it, it's the same thing. True for them and true for all YouTubers. Everything on this shelf is going to be given away to patrons. Each month I'm going to host several giveaways where any patron will just, win it from, even if you back for $1, you're eligible. I never started this channel with the expectation of making money. I think opening several $5,000 beta starter decks will tell you that.
Whenever Jeremy's channel begins to lose traction, he does whatever it takes to keep it growing. He increases the amount of giveaways, pleads with his audience, all while claiming that this is not for him. It is for his viewers. This early 2016 vlog on MTG Headquarters is key to understanding his potential true motivation.
I never had any stress or anxiety, nothing, until I was like in my mid-20s, and bam, panic attacks every night. I know it's a combination of my brain chemistry and things I do. Not getting enough sleep, drinking too much caffeine. If I drink too much alcohol too many days in a row, I'm at like a higher risk for it.
That was a video of Jeremy describing his anxiety issues, something that began in his 20s, something that he has been unable to shake. Earlier in the same video, Jeremy explains how, approximately 30 times a day, he reaches into his pocket to make sure his Xanax is still there in case he has a panic attack. Coincidentally, the rate at which he's been getting these has seemingly increased since his channel's growth has slowed. Jeremy specifically cites how he's already had 2 panic attacks within the week he made the video. What is being established is a vicious cycle that would bind Jeremy the more he fit into it. The more he would try to maintain endless growth, the more it would crush him.
For the past year, I've been running myself ragged, trying to run a business as well as YouTube full-time. And while it's been worth every long night, it's unlikely I can continue this pace much longer. I'm just so tired all the time. Now, you may have heard of me talk about my Patreon for several months now. The truth is, the support I'm receiving on my Patreon is literally the only reason I can spend the amount of time I do now on these YouTube videos. What I so desperately want now is the chance to take my channel to the next level.
In this video, released April 2016, it appears Jeremy was reading a pre-written sales pitch, asking his audience to increase their support on his Patreon, allowing Jeremy to reduce the time spent on his clients from marketing the sheriff, claiming it is for better or more diverse content on MTG Headquarters. While Jeremy did make good on diversifying his content with the increase of collaborations, interviews with Magic the Gathering artists, and even PowerPoint presentation guides, none of these videos could trump his simple, effortless card opening videos. As much as Jeremy desired to change and improve into something superior, he could not find any footholds, and was slipping into a breakdown.
Now, I wish I'd done a lot of things differently. I wish I was friendlier with other Magic YouTube channels. I wish YouTube ad revenue wasn't less now than it was a year ago. But I can't change any of that, really.
It was just a month later, in May 2016, that Jeremy went on his infamous Twitter rant, spurred by this panel.
Women are playing Magic and we're here to stay, and there are only going to be more of us. And that's kind of the conversation I want to have now, instead of just looking at us as something that is weird and to be studied.
This panel was streamed and uploaded in video form. It is titled Women in Magic Panel, and sits at only 22,000 views. It is not at all a video of major significance and is of 4 female judges discussing their experience in the Magic community, from the sexual harassment they receive to wanting women in Magic to be treated as a norm in the Magic community. Louis Scott Vargas, a streamer, quoted a different Magic creator who posted the link to the video on Twitter, noting how disappointing the comments were in response to the video. Jeremy, under his MTG Headquarters account, responds by stating that they should not be so thin-skinned. Yet another creator joins the conversation, emphasizing how people should be less crappy to each other. Jeremy responds, quote, "I simply choose to not be offended by what anonymous commenters say. That's a lot more obtainable," unquote. The conversation then moves into gender and skin color, Jeremy stating it is entirely irrelevant to Magic players, and how his penis does not in fact make him stronger. This kicked off a new set of tweets, not directed at any individual creator, rather the Magic community in general. Quote, "So many mindless betas in the MTG community. Come on, sheep. Demand proof, statistics. You know, actual evidence. Attention, sheep. Formulate your own opinions. Being wrong is simply better than parroting popular opinion. Apparently presenting a logical alternative to playing a victim means you hate women. I should have known better, lol. Going back to real world. This era of feminism gets lost in spending more time shaming actual conversation. I love women. They are every bit are equal," unquote. Jeremy would delete these tweets soon after posting, This will not stop them from being archived and immediately posted again on Twitter. This user takes note of his specific tweet in response to a comment about planeswalkers needing their own bathroom, Jeremy adding that they should send their urine into the aether. This was viewed as a commentary about the controversy of trans people requesting to use the bathroom of their gender identity. Jeremy responds to this screenshot with, quote, "Things turn toxic, so I clean them up. But yeah, you're right, planeswalkers should use their own bathroom in the aether, kid." Unquote.
I mean, this is what was going through my mind. You guys think that joke is transphobic? You think that joke makes me a monster? Let me show you what a monster is.
According to Jeremy, the pushback from his comments encouraged him to double down and act more aggressive, even if his intent was not an honest commentary. Even though Jeremy frames it this way, he would first attempt to regain the favor of the community with an apology on Reddit. Quote, "I want everyone to feel included in MTG. You can't really control how people react to certain things, and certainly Twitter is not a great place to have a complex discussion on gender issues. Everything I said after my original few tweets was at best insensitive and at worst outright wrong. Again, I am sorry." Unquote. This post has exactly 100 comments and 0 upvotes. The comments cite Jeremy's passion and specificity behind the deleted tweets and are distrusting of his apology. Some are even noting how often Jeremy is editing the Reddit post. To this specific comment, Jeremy responds, quote, "Yeah, it wasn't reading right. I am not good at writing, so that's why I do videos. I am just trying to apologize and the comments keep saying it's not good enough." Unquote. Jeremy would address his tweets in video form.
Drama over. Don't be a dick. I thought I guess maybe I had to say that, but from what I'm seeing is you all just basically know that,
It took about a month and a half for Jeremy to begin right where he left off. On Twitter, he changed his display name to MTG Shitlord HQ, derisively called Wedge the Hamburglar. On his personal account, stated Wedge is a cancer, has 0 original ideas, and steals others' content, and tweeted even more, stating, quote, "Alpha personalities are the ones making all the money in MTG. Talk to any vendor. They are capitalizing on your beta-ness. The MTG community is not ready for truth. Cucks and white knights drive the entirety of the narrative. Wizards, discrimination is guaranteed if you have a conservative mindset. Community discrimination also guaranteed. I mean, look at their community team. Every one of them is a leftist. Don't be a beta lotus, folks. Be an alpha." Unquote. Jeremy changed his display name again the following week, this time to make magic dank again, and tweeted, quote, "Straight truth, the reason you can't trust me is easy. I don't need your money like other top MTG channels. Simple as that. Here is the thing about my fellow shitlords. We have real numbers. Some will like to believe everyone who plays MTG is a snowflake. Nope." Unquote. In August, continuing this escalation, Jeremy announced that he had blocked many people on Twitter. Back to his personal account, Jeremy posted pictures of his guns in response to riots happening in his area. Finally, Jeremy, on his MTG headquarters account, states there are no good-looking females or males with personality, and that the vast majority of MTG YouTubers have subpar production quality and are boring. On the Magic TCG Reddit, users commented on Jeremy's ongoing rants. One former creator blames Jeremy for why he stopped making videos, specifically due to how Jeremy's low-effort pack openings flooded YouTube, potentially burying their higher-effort content. Other commenters shared the sentiment and denounced Jeremy, deeming his content as low-effort garbage that is composed of opening packs of Magic cards. The following month, on September 8th, Jeremy released a 28-minute video addressing his ongoing controversy, saying that he needs to clear his name while claiming Reddit is a hate fest, displeased in how Reddit mods are not policing comment sections enough, causing what he calls witch hunts directed at him. In this video, Jeremy states he takes no issue with trans or gay people, or any similar quality for that matter. Jeremy appears to be trying to de-escalate the tension between him and the Magic the Gathering community. And it worked, or so he thought. On September 9th, Jeremy posted 2 videos containing spoilers for an upcoming Magic the Gathering release. This is information from a PR firm working under Wizards of the Coast. The creators of Magic the Gathering often delivered to select content creators as a way to excite their audiences for upcoming cards. These videos performed terribly compared to Jeremy's pack opening videos. But the significance of this was not that it was meant to garner viewership, Rather, it appeared that Wizards of the Coast was extending an olive branch to Jeremy following his de-escalation. It was only when the spoilers were allegedly posted to Reddit that Jeremy, and to that extent the Magic community, was notified the spoilers sent to Jeremy was done so by mistake. While the original post does not appear to be archived, this Redditor quoted the Magic the Gathering employee on the matter. Quote, "We don't reward the behavior this channel exhibits. When we preview sets, we provide a handful of cards to our PR agency to use with outlets who aren't part of our core audience. When one of these outlets passed on using these cards, they reassign the cards to this outlet without doing research and also without checking with us first. We would not have greenlit his receiving of these cards had they asked." Unquote.
Here I was, feeling like a total moron to think that Wizards had just extended the olive branch and everything was going to be good.
Jeremy in this video compares that statement as an endorsement to witch hunt him, simultaneously claiming that Wizards of the Coast are listening to an extremely small minority of 30 or 40 people, while also stating that he is receiving a massive amount of hate. The one boon with this controversy is that Jeremy had a newfound angle to solicit donations, one that could weaponize culture and anger, a combination that would bring him much strife, but also considerable wealth.
You can speak with your wallet and take the plunge and back us on Patreon. The more backers we get on Patreon, the louder voice we can have, the more interesting things we can do. Wizards can't. Wizards won't fly me out to PAX. We'll go to see them at PAX. That Patreon gets big enough, I'll fly to every major event and I'll stand there and do coverage for you. And I'll try to keep it real 100%.
This was the beginning of Jeremy's capitalization of outrage. In the following years, Jeremy would master his craft. Meanwhile, with the understanding that he was not welcome in the Magic community, Jeremy revived Pokemon Headquarters while still posting to MTG Headquarters. The video announcing his return sits at less than 1,000 views. Jeremy posted on his Pokemon channel from late 2016 to early 2017. The channel failed to gain any momentum, with its videos far underperforming compared to videos found on MTG Headquarters. It was here that Jeremy resigned himself as a pack opening channel with the occasional commentary video. The latter type of video was often on the topic or tangential to his infamy.
If you would have told me that there's a man more universally hated in the Magic YouTube community than me, I would have told you, you're crazy.
On June 5th, 2017, two things happened. Jeremy posted his final claw machine related video on Clawstruck and live streamed while drunk. While he often tweeted at or commented on other creators in the MTG community, there was one that he targeted unprovoked. This was cosplayer Christine Sprankle.
Serial virtue signaler and crying for Patreon dollars cosplayer Sia Sprankle Run posted yesterday, "Allow messages to my Facebook page again. Question my life choices immediately." Posting out, "Came for cosplay inspiration and left only with an erection. In all seriousness, though, I love your work." Okay.
Jeremy was commenting on Sprankle's post and the comments found within. A post about receiving unwanted comments.
Here we go. Victor Puente, cuckold. You know this dude's a cuck. Oh, yes, she's just under constant anonymous direct message assault. Like, she is literally triggered. Here goes cuckold number Nicholas again. "It makes me sad that you have to be. It makes me sadder that I'm not even surprised. Me, despairing over social norms." If you're going to creep, at least have some decent grammar. I'd agree with that. Obviously, Sprankle is a pro cosplayer. You know she's a professional cosplayer by the fact that she has to solicit Patreon dollars and then cry in her Patreon video to get loser beta cucks to give her money. I mean, it is like an all-you-can-cuck buffet on this thread. Oh, I'm sorry, Sprankle. Let's look at your cosplay, your art, where some poor 14-year-old kid was unfortunately made an erection comment about you, And fuck him for being such a degenerate. I mean, what is sexual about this? Nothing, right? Oh, no, totally nothing sexual about this. Oh, yeah, here you go, Sprinkle. Another totally non-sexual picture where the Pokeball happens to be right on your fucking bush. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, you're wearing a bodysuit. Yeah, nothing sexual about that. Oh, here you go, wearing basically a bra. Yep, nope, nothing hot about that. Here we go again, more. Basically 75% nude, nothing sexual there. Oh, yeah, look at a bodysuit. Yeah, I'm not going to sexualize you. I mean, fuck me if I'm going to say that I wish there was a little slot down here, for me to, for us to pleasure each other. Because that's not what your intent is.
Jeremy ended up directing his audience towards Sprinkle's Twitter. If not his comments, then this is indisputable evidence of targeted harassment.
Please, everyone on the internet, come and support CS Sprinkle Run on Twitter and let her know how totally unattractive and unsexual she looks and how few Patreon dollars you're going to give her, and maybe she will avoid these digital rapes.
This was not the only time Jeremy commented on Sprinkle or her appearance. In this tweet, Jeremy refers to Sprinkle as a man. This Twitter user claims that Jeremy, in a deleted video directed at Sprinkle, stated, quote, "She's a dog, a 3 out of 10. I'd still do her." Unquote. These comments all came back when in November 2017, Sprinkle stated that Jeremy, through MTG Headquarters, has made her life hell this whole year. She followed this tweet by announcing that she was ostensibly leaving the Magic community, also citing that she was going through a horrible breakup. Jeremy was immediately blamed for Sprinkle's departure. One day later, Jeremy published 2 videos. The first could be found on his newest channel, TheQuartering, a channel that hosted commentary videos mostly commenting on the Magic community or media similar to it. The second was MTG Headquarters. These videos bring attention to the ongoing campaign to get him banned from Magic the Gathering, a campaign whose supporters were galvanized with the departure of Sprinkle. Commenters and creators alike were calling on Wizards of the Coast to take action, pointing out Jeremy's comments. Yet there was one often missed. A video in where Jeremy does not target a specific creator, cosplayer, or commentator. Rather, Mark Rosewater, the head designer for Magic the Gathering.
I ran a similar scientific poll, and I even asked everyone to tell the truth. I said, hey, quick poll. How many of you did Mark Rosewater touch inappropriately? Parentheses, tell the truth, internet. Since internet polls are scientific fact, consider this your trial, Mark Rosewater. Now, I know he has me muted. That's fine.
Jeremy created a poll insinuating that Mark Rosewater was a predator even after Mark had blocked him. This was Jeremy's attempt to discredit Twitter polls and also his response to Mark Rosewater citing a Twitter poll as evidence. Suffice to say, Jeremy had time and time again made himself known to senior employees at Wizards of the Coast. On November 26, 2017, the professor uploaded a video attempting to speak to the MTG community and reach Jeremy. He calls for de-escalation, for community members to stop harassing Jeremy and for Jeremy to stop his own campaign, even though he knows how unlikely that is. This video was far more comprehensive than any other video commenting on the ongoing scandal. Most importantly, it contained a great deal of evidence that Jeremy was persistent in harassing his online targets.
Jeremy, just being fair here, just being reasonable here, do you think that when someone such as myself, and this is just one example, makes a reply to someone that says, oh, you lost a follower over Nazi punching joke, but you gained a modern follower, seems like you traded up, to make an entire video saying I advocate political violence? I received so many comments about Nazis and the Holocaust and my being one and what I'm doing. And, most of my family died in concentration camps.
The professor's video saw mixed reception. While it was touted for the amount of evidence against Jeremy, some creators took issue with the professor's presentation and the alleged scope of 2 years that Sprinkle was harassed by Jeremy when there only existed months, not years, of evidence of harassment online.
It seems to me like the way you're presenting yourself just now and the way that you've made this video, you've kind of tried to make it look as if you're coming from an area of good faith when it's kind of obvious that you're just trying your hardest to virtue signal for what you feel is the righteous side.
That was creator Count Dinkula. a creator that would later start a podcast with Jeremy. He encourages his audience to research this for themselves. Advice that will go well to Jeremy's own response to the professor's video, not found on MTG Headquarters, but on TheQuartering. Jeremy's video opened with the professor's minor comment about Nazi comments.
Did you just evoke concentration camps to strengthen your video about mean tweets?
Jeremy failed to engage with the overarching argument that Jeremy is disruptive and that he encourages unwelcome comments. Instead, Jeremy chooses to comment on the professor's superficial qualities.
I want to point out, look at how disheveled he looks, how he has kind of a lazy face, his hair's all awry. This is on purpose, okay?
This goes on for about 2 minutes. Jeremy fails to state anything of substance. It is then that Jeremy claims that the professor's video was so well researched that it must have been a collaborative effort. Jeremy then presents this theory as fact, and states it as proof that there is a secret collaborative movement to smear him. Jeremy then reframes the professor's overarching argument, claiming that there is no evidence that he harassed creators like Sprinkle. Instead, there is only evidence that he is a quote-unquote asshole. To go even further, Jeremy claims he is the target of wide-scale harassment, and that Sprinkle failed to provide any evidence herself that she was harassed online by Jeremy, discounting any evidence directed towards her because she was not the one who sourced it.
The difference between this cosplayer and me, of course, is I actually showed the hundreds of messages I received. I showed the actual threats. I showed people sending me the names of my parents and their address.
Jeremy, to discredit the professor and those against him, continued to claim there was no evidence against him, also insinuating he did not delete anything.
There's evidence, but he must have deleted it. Or in this case, the professor insists I did.
While Jeremy does delete evidence, as was made clear as far as a year ago during his first major scandal, allegedly, the livestream where Jeremy fantasized about a slot in Sprinkle's morph suit and directed his audience to her Twitter page was taken down by YouTube under a community guideline strike, making it difficult to source larger portions of it. It also did not help that many of his Twitter accounts were recently banned. And while Jeremy questioned the professor or Sprinkle receiving harassment or unwanted attention, he provides evidence of such a thing, but only against him, citing the negative effects the professor's video had on his channel.
I have never blamed the professor for the barrage of hate that came my way after he made this video. 1,000 people unsubscribed from Unsleeved Media after he did this video.
Jeremy goes as far as to insinuate that Sprinkle is responsible for the harassment he is now receiving.
At Christine Sprinkle, who I think most humans would be infuriated at. She posted a dangerously false tweet. Let the hate mob ascend on me for going on 2 weeks now, and has done nothing to correct the situation.
Though Jeremy claimed that the professor is a manipulator and failed to bring a shred of evidence forward, Jeremy, in his video response, skips all the evidence presented. Notice how in Jeremy's reaction, the video inexplicably jumps. This is because Jeremy skipped from 4 minutes 24 seconds to 6 minutes 55 seconds, over 2 minutes of voice clips, portions of his removed livestream, and more than 10 tweets directed at Sprinkle or cosplayers in general. Jeremy does not acknowledge this jump, and it was not the last time he would edit around evidence. This next jump is even more egregious. Jeremy pauses the professor's video at 7 minutes 25 seconds. 1 more second and he would have displayed the evidence against him that he claims does not exist. For the next 7 minutes, the professor shows countless tweets and video clips, all of which Jeremy skips, again not acknowledging that he did so, and picking up his reaction at 5 minutes and 1 second of a 20-minute video. Jeremy closes this video by insinuating the professor is similar to Adolf Hitler.
Someone who is willing, as I said, to literally evoke the Holocaust on their petty crusade to silence and ban someone whose ideas they disagree with, someone whose ideas they don't have to interact with. Nobody's forcing him to watch my videos. Nobody's forcing him to read my tweets. You know, Professor, you actually sound a lot like somebody from history that your family might be familiar with.
Jeremy pressed on that there was no strong evidence proving that he had harassed anyone throughout this period, even selling a shirt in that theme, which he allegedly donated the profits of.
Show me the receipts. You know what? I printed a t-shirt today that I think I'm going to link in this video, and I'm going to donate all the proceeds to whatever the most reputable like men's shelter is in the area. So make sure you get your shirt with a fan-drawn face of me saying, show me the receipts.
Jeremy did get the receipts. On December 7, 2017, he received an email from Wizards of the Coast notifying him that he received a lifetime ban.
What does this mean? Well, I can't play in any pre-releases. I can't play in any sanctioned events. I can't play online. In fact, they actually confiscated my entire Magic Online collection.
Jeremy claimed he recouped the cost of his digital collection via PayPal chargebacks. As for the video announcing his ban, there is something seemingly sinister at play. At 10 minutes and 20 seconds, Jeremy begins going through the evidence Wizards of the Coast sent him that informed their choice to ban him. Notice, at the bottom left side of the screen, it is clearly stated that there are 12 attachments. Attachment 1 is a tweet where he calls Wedge the Hamburglar. Attachment 2 is presumably a joke about trolling a friend. Attachment 3 is a tweet about trolling that same person and the professor. Attachment 4 appears to be another joke about wearing a shirt with the famous internet cartoon frog Pepe to trigger people. Attachment 5 is what appears to be another joke that includes Pepe. Attachment 6 looks to be a joke about concentration camps. Attachment 7 is Jeremy alluding to a Magic player having a quote-unquote pedo smile. Attachment 8 is Jeremy in response to an accusation where he encourages R-wording individuals, responds by saying he would not even R-word the poster. Then this is attachment 9 of 12.
I love the ladies of Magic, but dudes who bring their girlfriends to stand over their shoulder every game are annoying as fuck. Teach them to play or go home. What's wrong with that? Am I not allowed to have an opinion? Am I not allowed to have an opinion? I mean, this is the evidence, okay?
Jeremy plainly rants about this being the only evidence Wizards of the Coast presented against him. The screen then fades into his facecam. He failed to show whatever those last 3 attachments were. On the topic of deception is this screenshot of Jeremy defending himself in the third person, presumably failing to log into an alternate account to defend himself. It appears Jeremy is not being entirely honest to his community, and Jeremy has a possible motivation to be dishonest.
You should subscribe to it so that I can send it to Polygon and tell them thanks for the press and all the new subscribers. Then you can just quietly unsubscribe if you don't like the content. So many of you are like sharing these videos. People are I'm seeing them on Facebook. People are signing up on Patreon. Like, this is crazy. How can I help? Well, I would love to be able to cover more of these games. I have a Patreon where if you want to, say, throw a few bucks, that would go a long way. I have a one-time donation link to the war chest. That would help. All I can do right now is I set up a war chest on PayPal where people, if they choose to, please believe me that you don't have to. This is like literally the worst time to be shilling for this kind of stuff. But it goes without saying that money is power. And I can make the promise to all of you that any money there or people that decide to back on Patreon, so many of you have already, and I'm so thankful for that, 100% of that money goes back into the channels.
Jeremy's promoting of his Patreon was for naught, because come February 2018, it would be banned because, quote, you recently doxed members of your online community, unquote. This could have resulted from Jeremy's new crusade against pedophiles in the Magic the Gathering community. Specifically judges, mostly all former judges, that were convicted but not on the banned list next to Jeremy. Though Jeremy failed to find a large number of active judges that were predators, his attention to the matter did appear to influence an update on Wizards of the Coast terms and conditions that force stores to run background checks on their staff and those who they engage with that interact with the public, meaning judges. Though Jeremy was not credited for influencing this change, it was celebrated amongst the Magic community. A community that, due to his ban, Jeremy was drifting away amicably from, as in this video he claimed that he made contact with Sprinkle and the two apologized to each other. Jeremy then renamed MTG Headquarters to Unsleep Media in an attempt to pivot to covering the card game genre as a whole. His recent scandal introduced him to a cast of new allies and helped him refine a lucrative genre of video that he had been making for the wrong audience. The same type of video that created enemies in the Magic community was going to usher in Jeremy's largest and longest running channel.
And all these people grew up to be the same fuckers in middle school that were like, well, if you don't subscribe to the popular idea, maybe Pogs at the time, or starter jackets, I don't know, I'm old, then you're not cool. Or if you were poor, you weren't cool. Or if there's a whole variety of things that would make you outcast. But now, when they get older, they get a little power on Twitter, they can find more people that, it's like the blob. And then they become this massive thing of groupthink and toxicity that's trying to push everyone out who disagrees and then just absorb more people into their ideology. What I want to do, hopefully, with this channel is to push these conversations forward.
Obviously, I don't want any bullshit SJW book. As always, SJW's always lies. SJW lesbian space gem. Garrett, SJW red-haired, blue-haired Mohawk guy. General SJW buzzwords. Lol cow, milking the feminist lol cow down. Classic SJW stuff. BuzzFeed hates men. Feminist agenda person's feminist propaganda. Everyone needs to stop getting triggered. I'm not a fan of Brie Larson. Brie Larson. Maybe it's because Brie Larson. Your favorite. Brie Larson. Brie Larson is going to help you. And that Brie Larson. Just you and me. All female, mega diverse MCU film directed by Brie Larson. Do it.
Just posting, my 5th Brie Larson video in 30 days.
Oh.
Things like that.
I'm already known as the guy who makes 1,000 videos about Brie Larson. The action, it's got to be live. It's got to be in the moment. I also have to admit that I really dislike Brie Larson.
Though Jeremy may be capable of having a nuanced discussion, for the vast majority of his videos, he certainly does not display it. In his past, his incuriousness and inability to formulate a cohesive argument has forced him, time after time, to make videos reliant on emotion or sensationalism to draw an audience. This is why Brandon's technical breakdowns in their RC channel often outperform Jeremy's. It is also why Jeremy was relegated to opening packs of cards in a game known for its complexity and strategy, areas explored and dominated by his contemporaries. When forced to create meaningless content, the only variable Jeremy can control is content frequency. Card opening videos were easily replicable. It created competition that Jeremy admitted he could not compete with.
Guys like Open Boosters came along and kind of slayed the beast in terms of, ultra rare vintage product openings.
This is not the only time Jeremy was outperformed by other channels.
And also there were a bunch of claw machine channels. Here's some deep lore. They were faking their wins. It's hard to compete winning a plush, a Bart Simpson plush, when these 15-year-old kids are faking winning Xboxes and this and that. So everyone lost faith.
Jeremy is limited to producing sensational videos. He is deceitful and/or manipulates footage to favor him, and he uploads frequently and typically on the same day the video was recorded. Jeremy is a perfect fit for a political commentary channel, but political commentary narrowed to only culture, and again narrowed only to pop culture. For Jeremy, the era of selling channels had passed. Now it was the era of selling outrage. If this was all that Jeremy did, he could be very successful. Only he has two major flaws. There is a part of him that demands respect online. The same part of him also seeks fellowship online. These two elements drive the opposite of the desired result.
Thank you for your purchase. Sargon of Akkad would like to personally thank you for your purchase of 1 vial of his semen. This is a lot. Do you think I don't know if you use it to season or what, but here goes nothing. Can't say I've ever tasted anything like that before. It's almost like when you have Cinnamon Toast Crunch and you have just the cinnamon and milk at the bottom of the bowl.
That was a video titled Sargon of Akkad's Semen Taste Test. Sargon of Akkad is a creator that makes similar videos to Jeremy. He is someone that Jeremy greatly admired. Admired enough to make this strange, sarcastic video because Coach Redpill, a creator in the same space as Jeremy, commented about such a thing.
Coach Redpill asked me, actually stated, really, keep sucking on Sargon's dick, boy. V says that Sargon's cum tastes awfully good. So does it?
Jeremy is not one to save face or cut his losses. This exchange was the first domino. It would bring more confrontation, and that confrontation would have Jeremy reveal otherwise private information. On May 21st, 2018, Jeremy and Coach Redpill confronted each other on a live stream.
I'll go education to education. I'll go house to house with you. I'll go wife to wife with you. I'll go bank account to bank account with you.
I don't think you want to go there. Okay, sure.
I will.
How many children?
I will.
How many children?
0.
Okay, I've got 4 by 3 different women.
Okay, so you're a shitty dad. Congratulations.
Jeremy and Coach Redpill also compared their subscriber count. Most importantly, the two compared their estimated net worth.
How many figures?
Net, probably low 7s.
Okay.
At 35.
At 35. Okay, good.
Jeremy claimed to be a millionaire. This would not be the last time he would flaunt his wealth, but it was the first time and perhaps the only time that Jeremy provided information on his net worth. This otherwise worthless information is dangerous when put alongside any would-be desperate plea for financial assistance. For the moment, it would drown under a sea of noise. For the present, it was mid-2018 that Jeremy was hitting a stride in spotlighting social justice warriors, or SJWs, a derisive umbrella term used to describe indignant, unruly adults. Jeremy was able to recenter the frustration pop culture enthusiasts felt in their hobbies, such as comic books, towards these SJWs. While Jeremy failed to move the conversation, if anything made tensions worse, he was successful in growing TheQuartering, going from 1.5 million views a month to 7 million by August, then to over 10 million views a month nearing the end of 2018. During this time, Jeremy started the podcast channel The Incredible Salt Mine with 2 other creators. Stories told in these episodes would haunt him far into the future. This specific story only made possible due to a chat member donating $500.
Somebody just fucking donated $500. I have to tell the story about how I shit my pants now.
Oh, you do?
Once upon a time, I believe I was probably 32, 33, maybe 34.
So hang on, what was that a couple of years ago? How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 36.
Okay, all right.
So
This
yeah,
is
it was
recent.
vivid.
Go on.
The memory is vivid. We're at Walmart. We had just eaten, my wife and we had just eaten at Qdoba. And when you're gonna have I would say watery shit, you can kind of tell your stomach kind of gurgles and you know it's gonna be bad. Well, we're grocery shopping and it starts to hit me. I'm like, oh, I gotta shit. We're in the front of the store by the vegetables. The bathrooms are way in the back or in the front of the store, like on the other side. Looking for avocados, and then it's like, oh shit, it's time. And my mind immediately goes in slow motion where I'm doing the calculation. I realized at this moment that there's a real possibility I might shit my pants because it was just fucking happening. I start thinking, well, if it happens, I don't want it to be up front by all the checkouts where everybody sees me. So I decide to take the longer route to the back because I know I can kind of duck through the clothing and the automobile section. People aren't going to see me in case the inevitable happens.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the shoe section, which you guys haven't been at Walmart, but the shoe section, you're about halfway. You can see the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
The second I see the bathrooms, I get shit radar. And I'm like, okay, it's happening now. I'm starting to think, okay, if I have to shit in the store, where is the best place to shit in a Walmart? Because I'm not going to make it. I knew for a fact I wasn't going to make it. So I cut down the shoe aisle because nobody shops for shoes at Walmart. And then I've resided myself to shitting my pants in a Walmart at this point. I'm thinking, okay, so my wife's gonna have to find me like some sweatpants or something. I'm going to shit my pants. It's happening. And at that moment, a little came out, started running down my leg.
Yeah.
And I'd like, oh my God, you know what? I'd rather than like kneel and accept my fate, I'm fucking going for it. So I hit the back wall. I'm on the home stretch. With each step, a little more is coming out. And it's running down my leg now to where it's like at my sock. I'm covered in shit. Yeah. And I'm running like clenched butt. And I get into the bathroom.
Were you leaving a trail? Were you leaving a
Yeah, there was a little bit. There was a little bit on the ground when I was walking back. Yeah. There are a couple spots. Yeah. And so I get into the bathroom. I open the bathroom door, and thanks to my quick thinking, I'm already taking my pants off because I'm thinking, all right, well, my underwear, it's over. The underwear, those aren't coming home with me. But if I can save my pants, because I'm 6'5", 6'6", and a big dude. I'm not finding pants on the rack at the store. So I'm like, I got to save my pants. So I burst into the bathroom. My pants are already half off. Shit's coming out of down my leg. There's a fucking dude at the urinal. And he whips his head around and said, dude, I'm shitting myself. Sorry. And there was shit all over the floor.
Why did he need to know that?
Yeah, I was taking my pants off. I thought he should know. That it wasn't like...
Dude, I'm shitting myself. Sorry.
Yeah. And at this point, it's just over. It's over. I get into the stall. Thank God no one was there. Otherwise, I was going to sit on the trash can. And what's left just exits by no choice of my own. It's the rest of it. Now I'm looking down. My pants are in the middle of the Walmart bathroom with several spots of shit. There's shit all over the floor in the bathroom. And this...
Did the guy just scurry out, or is he...
No, dude, this guy is a fucking hero, okay? He's a cotton-top black dude. I don't know if he worked there or what the deal was, but he fucking barricaded the door for me. He's like, I got you, dude.
What a fucking hero.
Yeah. He's like, I got you, man. He's like, no one's coming in. So then I begin the long cleaning process of having to take a 6'5", 300-pound man taking a bath in a Walmart sink because I had shit all over me. And at no point, by the way, does my wife turned one way, saw me picking out avocados. 30 minutes later, she gets a text from me. I shit myself. She had no idea. She had fucking no idea where I went. She thought I was like mad and I left. It was like, because, obviously I'm like, look, I got to handle this. When you're covered in your own fecal matter.
She's just following the trail of shit like fucking Hansel and Gretel.
She had no idea where I even went. By the time I get cleaned up, I'm like, oh, I should probably tell my wife, what's going on. And I had like 30 missed calls, 20, 30 missed calls from her. She had no fucking idea. By the time I get back to my wife, she's fucking pissed because she had to do all the grocery shopping by herself. I'm like, but I shit myself. And she's like, well, you're not driving in my car. So she because there was obviously still poop spots on my pants. They were fine, but there was some splatter.
Though the streamed podcast where Jeremy told his story only got 30,000 views, retellings of the story would get considerably more viewership. On the topic of viewership, Jeremy began uploading 2 videos a day and began his crusade against celebrity Brie Larson, the actress who played Captain Marvel in Captain Marvel, a movie based on the Marvel comics. Jeremy covered the release of Captain Marvel while commenting on Brie Larson's own controversial comments. In his career, he's made 270 videos on the topic of or mentioning Brie Larson. Jeremy made so much money covering her that he dedicated a new shed to her.
Every night before I go to bed, too. Just a little ritual. Appreciate you. This one right here, too. Appreciate you.
Jeremy covered other evolving stories, such as the exploitation of Stan Lee and the fall of Anita Sarkeesian. Yet neither of these were as lucrative as his coverage of Brie Larson. As with any of his other videos, Jeremy often poorly summarized articles, sometimes missing key information that made the point of his video moot. For example, there is this video uploaded in 2021. The headline partly reads, "On-screen killer Michael Myers is branded homophobic for murdering a gay couple in new film." But horror fans argue it is a sign of equality. This is an article about several tweets.
I would think that this is like ironic satire, but it's not.
Quote, the Twitter user later added, "If it wasn't already clear enough, this tweet was a joke, so please stop attacking me," unquote. Not only is this in the article Jeremy is reading, it is on screen while he is contradicting it. It does not end there.
I got so many people like outright stating very obviously fake, false information, like so easily researchable, and then stating it so emotionally as fact that it made me think like, these people are actually insane.
As profitable as it was for Jeremy to monetize nonsense outrage and antagonize others on YouTube or Twitter, back in 2018, some posts would have lasting consequences that outweighed any monetary gain or support. On June 30th, 2018, in response to Matt Fantastic alleging someone was being predatory, Jeremy, as he did with Mark Rosewater, claimed, quote, "Someone once told me Matt Fantastic did some horrible things with young boys. He should pay for what he did. Listen and believe me," unquote.
This is the window he punched in after not being able to continue to punch me. Here's some witnesses. Hey, did that guy just ask my name and then start assaulting me?
Yeah, he said, "Hey, are you Jeremy Hambley?" And you said, "Yeah," and he goes, "Fuck you," and reached over and started punching you in the head.
I don't know if you saw the YouTube footage, but just got here to Gen Con 2018, was hanging out with basically Gen Con royalty.
On August 2nd, 2018, Jeremy was assaulted at a bar near Gen Con, a convention he was attending. Jeremy explains the assailant asked him to verify who he was before striking him repeatedly on the back of his head, then fled before the police could be called. Jeremy also alleges that the bar initially refused to call the police.
Look at this shirt. Fucking ripped my shirt. Wait, hold on. Ripped all the buttons off my shirt. Fucking, my arm is bleeding from, here, let me put it this way. Can you see that? That's just from me trying to pull away from this guy. Like, he probably thinks he's so fucking woke. And he's gonna go tell his buddies how cool he was, right? For attacking somebody when they weren't even looking.
Quote, "I'm keeping a lower profile, but I'm straight chillin' and doing fine. Telling stories about me online is what it is. No charges. I haven't fled the con/state. I'm drinking beers, playing games, and doing business with my friends," unquote. Matt Fantastic, the assailant who was identified the same day of the attack, ended this post with #PunchNazis. On the 4th, Jeremy commented on the widespread coverage of his assault, remarking on the support he was receiving and vowing to pursue legal action. And though he initially wanted to prematurely leave Gen Con in fear of another assault, he made the decision to remain for his previously appropriated time. With videos of support pouring in, Jeremy on August 9th created a GoFundMe for the purpose of suing Matt Fantastic. The fundraiser undershot its goal of $40,000 by $6,000. Still, Jeremy went forward with it. In the midst of filing, Jeremy received an email from the Gen Con company, informing him that he and Matt Fantastic were banned from attending future events, a decision influenced by the possibility of further retaliation at Jeremy at upcoming conventions. The results of the lawsuit, to some, would be similarly disappointing. Rather than reaching judgment, Jeremy and Matt settled. Matt's apology in video form appears to be a condition for this settlement.
Hi, this is Matt Loader. Some of you know me as Matt Fantastic. Just prior to Gen Con 2018, I let my anger get the best of me and physically confronted Jeremy Hambley outside a bar in Indianapolis over statements he made about me previously. I unequivocally take responsibility for my actions that evening, which were wrong, and apologize to Jeremy for my thoughtless conduct.
Matt looked gleeful in his apology, something that was not lost on those reacting to Jeremy's video. Quote, Matt is basically smirking at the beginning of his apology. He clearly doesn't think this is a serious situation even after losing. Since we will never know the terms of the settlement, I suspect from his smugness that he was not made to pay out much of anything, probably not even the cost of Jeremy's lawyers, since Jeremy only said, quote-unquote, remaining funds would be donated, unquote. This was just the first of Jeremy's fundraising efforts started in 2018 to reach an unsatisfying conclusion. The second was a fundraiser for Exclusively Games, a video game, tabletop, and arcade game media website campaigning as a space devoid of politics. Quote-unquote, all games, no politics. Though Jeremy had experience managing websites across several channels with little overhead, this changed in 2014 when his Patreon asked for $5,000 per month for a full staff of presumably 4 to 5 writers and an application development team. This changed again in late 2018 when Jeremy claimed running website now cost $30,000 for 3 months. He also stated in the fundraising that he pre-funded the graphic design of the website, the HTML coding of the website, the bulletin software, and the website's forum. The $10,000 a month was to pay for articles, editors, mods, social media managers, ongoing graphic design, merge creation, and server protection. The funding concluded with $159,443 raised. The website appears to have launched early 2019 to little fanfare. This is quantifiable because the articles have a view counter underneath them. While some would get as high as 8.5 thousand, others would slump to 400 views, a fraction of the viewership Jeremy was receiving on his main channel. Additionally, the website did not seem stringent in its policy to keep politics out. For example, there is this article covering Roblox reversing PewDiePie's ban on the platform. The article cited this image as the explanation for his ban, naming specifically a redirecting of unsafe and inappropriate sites/channels, alongside inappropriate behavior, though this reasoning was dubious as the ban was reversed, and it specifically arose through an erroneous flagging system. The article cites the reasoning for the initial ban as a quote-unquote political decision while failing to expand on how it was politically motivated. Though most of the commenters do not question the writing, this user does. Quote, isn't that political? I thought this site should be free of this kind of stuff, unquote. A different user responds, quote, type text here. Ellipses. Not really. An influencer was banned from an online video game. Was it for 2 political reasons? Maybe, but it's still interesting to know. And the writer isn't giving his opinion on the ban either, unquote. Exclusively Games also had a YouTube channel where reviews could be found not adhering to the policy of no politics while claiming to be doing such a thing.
The reason it's called Exclusively Games is that its writers do not inject political agendas into their articles, which has become, sadly, as many of you know, all too common in the gaming industry today, especially in games media. So that's what it means. It means no political agendas. It does not mean no opinions about anything.
For the most part, fairly inoffensively done. The game doesn't get political, there's no girl power or anti-male kind of attitude to the game, which originally worried me.
By June 2019, the website was failing. The top articles were only getting hundreds of views. The same could not be said for TheQuartering. Jeremy could be seen celebrating the growth on his channel in this video posted July 1st.
My sponsors don't care at all about the fact that, about how many subscribers I have. They care. The only reason they reach out to me is because of my average daily views. That is why, even though many of my videos get 100 to 200,000 views, which is awesome, I'm still getting bombarded with offers. I could probably do ads every few days. Hey, dude, I don't have much money, but I'm almost like, oh my God, I just wish I could refund that. I don't want people to stretch themselves to tip me. That's why I work my day job. That's why I'll never quit my day job. It keeps me grounded, and it keeps me in a situation where I don't have to worry about somebody who's just got a few bucks in their bank account tipping me. That just makes me feel gross. 6 months ago, the community rose up and worked together to bring to fruition 6 months ago, the community got together and brought to life exclusivelygames.com.
Quote, Exclusively Games July fundraiser. The website's monthly operating cost for an editor, news desk, and to pay the writers is approximately $10,000. I am seeking to cover 6 months of content. 100% of funding goes into the content. I, Jeremy, have not taken a dime and will continue to draw no revenue for myself." Unquote. This received $53,000, raising the total fund raised for the website to over $200,000. A fundraiser that came during Jeremy's best performing months so far, maintaining 20 million views a month, helped by his upload rate of 2 videos a day. This likely influenced Jeremy's decision to officially leave Unsleep Media, formerly known as MTG Headquarters. Jeremy applied himself to the quartering, not only embracing its growth, but also its trouble with demonetization.
You know, it's not like 2/3 of my videos end up getting hit with the yellow check mark only after reviewing. By the way, I have over 1,000 videos. To give you an idea about machine learning, I have over 1,000 videos, and maybe 2 of them were confirmed after manual review that they weren't appropriate for advertisers.
Jeremy's frequent uploads were making it difficult to appeal the videos that were flagged as unsuitable for advertising. There was worse to come. YouTube, in taking more control of its algorithm, was reducing the effectiveness of subscriptions. Previously, being subscribed to a channel meant a notification was sent to the subscriber. This was changed and now required users to select a secondary option, the subscriber bell, to now be notified.
Hey, did you cover this? Did you cover how Riot Games had this lawsuit settlement the other night? Yeah, I did a video 3 freaking days ago, but YouTube doesn't care. YouTube is not only not notifying you, but they're actively hiding the garbage. I don't care. There's some smaller channels out there who think it's funny when people out there are struggling and frustrated, and I get it. I've been there. It's okay. Make your content. But the fact of the matter is, this is exactly why I will never commit to making content full-time, because the YouTube system is completely, unequivocally, undeniably broken.
Jeremy was also having problems with YouTube's claim system, a system often abused.
YouTube is still allowing them to leave claims on YouTubers' videos. This has been going on for years, and they don't do anything about it. I'm sick of this shit. You have no idea what it's like to put 2, 3, 4 videos a day and then have some dickhole claim your video and say, well, 10% of people will only fight this claim. I guess we'll just milk money off people who are clearly in fair use. And you know what, Marvel, you're part of this too.
Jeremy was indeed uploading 3 to 4 videos a day. He had, in just a year, gone from uploading daily to twice a day to now double that. Within this sea of uploads, starting 2020, Jeremy began to have some unique opinions.
But he said in an interview with The Independent that he was so bored of talking about the film. Instead, he turned the discussion towards his views on Mr. Weinstein's alleged victims, and that adults who made choices, and why he's tired as a white man for being blamed for everything that's wrong with the world. Perhaps just the ramblings of a man who is too old to care anymore, but nonetheless, there's a lot of truth in what he says. Now, there are how many victims in Harvey's life, and I feel sympathy for them, but Hollywood is full of very ambitious people who are adults, and they make choices. If you read between the lines here, what he's saying is people knew what they were getting into when they serviced the man, and they either, for better or worse, got what they had hoped or didn't. But nonetheless, as adults, they made their own decision, and now they're looking to blame everybody else for that.
Harvey Weinstein is a former film producer, one convicted of R-word and sexual assault. Though Jeremy appears to be sympathetic towards Weinstein, he did not extend his sympathy to composer Michael Giacchino, who on February 18, 2020, tweeted about King Kong coming back to theaters. In a reply, a user mentioned King Kong was Hitler's favorite film, to which Giacchino responded, "Fuck Hitler." Jeremy then quote-tweeted this, responding with, "And there we have it. Yikes." While it appears that Jeremy was taking offense to Giacchino's dislike of Adolf Hitler, Jeremy, after swift backlash, stated, quote, "The context is that it's another comics pro with stunning and brave takes like fuck Hitler. But you're not interested in that. That's why you didn't add me. You just wanted to try and smear me as a quote-unquote Nazi. Fucking clowns every time," unquote. Jeremy continued to attempt to correct his messaging. Quote, "The context is obvious in the thread that it's another comics pro arguing with fans and making stunning and brave negative statements like quote-unquote fuck bad things. You don't care about truth though, just perpetuating lunacy, unquote. Revisiting the original tweet shows that Kino was not at all arguing on the topic of comics. Actually, there is no mention of comics anywhere within the tweet exchange. Jeremy's strategy, whatever it may have been, to change how others viewed his intent did not work. Just 2 days after the Hitler tweet was posted, Jeremy on Twitter stated, quote, "Amazing how this fuck Hitler tweet has taken hold with people completely incapable of understanding my point, which was obvious to everyone that follows me. Hollywood types saying fuck Hitler for retweets is fucking stupid and cringe. It's about virtue signaling. If this was not what dude was doing, okay. My point still stands. In what world is this known? Now I got morons posting my address to Twitter replies. Wonder where they came from. You had to be a complete fucking idiot or liar to say I was quote-unquote defending Hitler. Like, I respect the hustle, but you'd have to be a fucking idiot to think anyone was unironically defending Hitler. I just can't imagine people are this stupid. They have to just be willfully misrepresenting the point, right?" Unquote. Below, Jeremy linked to a video by D'Angelo Wallace that covers Jeremy's tweet. At the time Jeremy posted it, the video had 82,000 views. Present day, the video sits at nearly 2 million views. With Twitter further examining Jeremy, his views came into question. Specifically, these 4 recent images. The first one is Jeremy stating that though he considers himself to be pretty progressive, he believes transgender people have an advantage in sports. The second is in support of someone who is labeled a homophobe, going as far as to call them a hero. The third shows that he believes that some transgender people transition as a trend, and the fourth is an image of 2 men kissing that is captioned with Jeremy stating, quote, "If you want to raise awareness, you have to make people want to throw up in their mouths." Unquote. On March 12, 2020, Jeremy announced he deleted all of his tweets. This same day, Jeremy uploaded a video titled, "YouTube is destroying my channel and I have proof."
I just to be honest with you all, I've been very, very stressed over the past week or two, and I've tried to not let on to it, but I can't figure it out, and I need your help. Something is really weird with my YouTube channel. The videos that were supposed to send notifications, YouTube sends 3 notifications in one 24-hour period. The Review Tech USA video got well viewed. That's about my normal. My normal videos get between 100 and 150,000 views. The second video, which should have done really well, 50,000. The third video, which should have done really well, 59,000. I'm done antagonizing people on Twitter. I'm done with it because I just lose. Even though most of these idiots were just coming at me with flat out lies, I got embroiled in it and I gave them what they wanted and I lost course. I'm not going to do that anymore on Twitter, okay? I'm making very real changes.
According to Jeremy Social Blade, this is the dip he was speaking of. A viewership decrease of 2 million, going from 14 million in February to 12 million in March.
My channel seems to be quarantined in some way that I haven't been able to detect yet, but is supported by all sorts of anecdotal evidence that I'm going to share with you to help share not just my videos, but other people's videos in this space. And I need you to give me feedback because YouTube is slowly killing us. They're slowly pushing out independent creators, which is why I have a BitChute, which is why I have a library account. I'm a founding member on Library, okay? I'm a financial supporter of Library and BitChute because I know this is what's happening, but we still have to fight back. And I'm sorry I don't have the energy, but I'm just frustrated and tired. Please help not just me, but other independent creators continue to exist here on YouTube and continue to push back against what is an obvious bias for mainstream media by YouTube.
Despite Jeremy's evidence that largely consisted of users not getting notifications for his uploads and petitioning for support on third-party platforms, his channel, per the Social Blade graph, jumped to 20 million views the following month, his best performing month ever. This same month, Jeremy announced on Unsleeved Media that he was returning to Magic, apologizing to Wizards of the Coast while also faking their apology to him. In this video in April, Jeremy claimed his return was not a ploy for financial gain. Instead, it was for when he needed to boost his mood.
I view this channel as like a cathartic outlet for me, a place for me to go and just relax and turn off my brain and open some product again.
Jeremy would leave and return to Unsleep Media multiple times in the following years, making it a useful tool to track when he's feeling despondent. His channel, with its improved performance, should not have brought him undue stress. Exclusively Games was a different story. Quote, I really am struggling with keeping Exclusively Games running. The monthly nut is nearly $15,000 and website revenue is trash. It was a website in a time where websites are dying. Do I continue to crowdfund it or admit defeat? Unquote. Exclusively Games had sunk to the point that articles on the site's front page were not only lacking any comments, but also their view counts were so low that they were presumably not displayed. As such, the website closed in mid-2020. Jeremy later claimed that the website exceeded its $200,000 fundraised amount at the beginning of the year.
I paid a severance to my video editors. I paid a severance to all the major writers, which I of course proved since then. A 1 month severance for some of the bigger salaried people. Why did I have to finally pull the plug? Well, I had been paying for everything out of pocket since basically January, which was almost $10,000 to $12,000 a month, depending on which months. How many articles we publish in a month.
The figure of $10,000 to $12,000 a month was different than the $15,000 Jeremy tweeted about. With 12 months of operation cost should have amounted to $120,000 to $144,000. On the website QB Farms, verified poster and alleged friend of Jeremy claims that Jeremy was not being too dishonest, that he did pay out severance and Jeremy was mostly hands-off when it came to the website, and it was mismanaged to hell by infamous commentator Ian Miles Chung. Quote, after I left, Ian was eventually fired for failing in his duties and scamming Jeremy. To my knowledge, the site never fully recovered. Things behind the scenes often seem to be messy or disorganized. As for how a site with 200 grand failed, well, Jeremy wasted a lot of funds. On the site, mind you. I won't share figures, but the design team got paid exceptionally well, as did IMC, among others. I think Jeremy just got in over his head and trusted the wrong people. I don't have access to all that. All I know is that Ian was paid, I believe, $2,500 to $5,000 or so per month. Unquote. Jeremy, at a later date, revealed that Ian Miles Chung lied to his face in claiming the website needed more support. Jeremy complied, and Ren, an additional quote-unquote employee, was hired. From what Jeremy gathers, Ren was an e-girl who Chung bought an iPhone for and was sending money to.
When I confronted him over it, he had a mental breakdown, a bawling breakdown on Skype for stealing not my money but your money. The people had backed the project. It was $645. He would have gone right on stealing my money, stealing your money, had I not figured it out. Okay.
To add to Jeremy's financial strain, he was dropped by sponsor Dollar Shave Club in June. When he did not receive a reply from the company, he assumed it was because of his content. This is something he made a video on, titled, Sponsor Dropped Me for Not Being Woke. Goodbye, Dollar Shave Club. The following day, Jeremy tweeted, quote, after over a week, Dollar Shave Club replied on why they terminated my partnership after I uploaded a video about it. They claim that it is performance related and shared the data with me. The data supports their claim, unquote. Jeremy was not having a pleasant time on Twitter, to the point that on July 27, 2020, he announced he was leaving altogether.
I'm not a small channel anymore that really needs that video to go viral on Twitter to live. Right now, I'm concerned about being a better husband, better work-life balance, and removing the toxic elements that are causing my hair to fall out at an increasingly rapid rate.
On Twitter, there was much celebration. 3 days later, Jeremy made a video doing two things. He showcased these tweets of celebration and was adamant about having multiple gay dads.
2,300 likes. A lot of people hated me on Twitter. Also, I have two dads. I'll have you know I have two dads. One of my dads is black and gay. Also has this dad. I don't know. Maybe he has three dads. Someone makes sense to me. Now, this is one of my dads. All right?
It took 5 days for TheQuartering to return to Twitter, apparently not under Jeremy, but under his employee, Maggie. Then 3 days after that tweet, Jeremy was back tweeting as TheQuartering. Quote, yeah, I came back to Twitter. Are people not allowed to change their mind? Not very progressive. Unquote. This was tweeted on August 17th, 2020, the same day of one of Jeremy's most well-known live streams, much to his displeasure.
You never know. Maybe I'm going to pee in my trash can down here. I don't know. My wife went out for pizza without me, and I'm angry about it. So I'm going to win this round, and then I'm going to pee. If I don't win this round, I'm going to pee in my own basement.
Jeremy, inebriated, scorned, and suffering from a lack of pizza, sought to take his revenge. The object of his derision would have to be the drain in his basement.
I gotta pee so bad. I want to lose so I can pee, but I don't want to lose. I have to pee so bad, though. It's hard to describe how angry my bladder is. You guys don't know, it's gonna explode. My bladder's gonna blow. Get up! Get up! No! I've literally never lost that round. I've never lost that round. I've never lost that round. Oh my God. I just peed in my basement. No, not in the kitty litter. Just in the drain. In the drain.
Though Jeremy deleted the livestream, Channel Virus Sanity uploaded a 5-minute supercut of the event. Jeremy commented on this video with, "Imagine thinking this is unknown." In the hundreds of comments responding to the quartering, there is only a single comment of support. Between the basement urination and the Twitter debacle, there could be an explanation for why the quartering was acting out in August. It could be this graph, showing his views slumped from 23 million in July to 13 million in August, a period that Jeremy claims his channel was dead.
We went through that whole month back in August where, like, I mean, it was dead. The channel was basically dead and gone for almost 3 weeks. And I think that was a direct result of a dip in my channel's activity and interactions and people liking the videos. And so now I've gone back to being a little more aggressive about that.
This was around the period that Jeremy was uploading 5 to 7 videos a day. As was with the last time he saw a dip in viewership, the following month he saw an increase in views. And the month after that, he saw an increase in mockery. On October 21st, 2020, the H3 podcast released Content Court The Quartering, a nearly 2-hour-long video covering the quartering's history of blunders.
He is triggered about the redesign. He doesn't like that the new updated version of the character doesn't have big boobs anymore, essentially. And he also mentions that he wasn't a fan of the original, but he's extremely triggered by this new iteration.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
The title is Disgracing She-Ra.
That's right.
Disgracing She-Ra and Strong Beautiful Heroes. I see he's achieved a almost 50% dislike ratio on this one, even from his own fans. So,
Jeremy has a habit of accidentally owning himself on Twitter. You use the word cuck.
Your Honor, if I may interject and submit to the court. When we were looking at these, I've never laughed so hard in my life. I fell over in my chair.
Wife's out flying this morning, so I got up early to play some video games. Married life. My wife just asked why her lotion was down in my office, and she refuses to believe that it was for a bit in spite of video evidence. Yeah, dude.
This video also covered Jeremy's Hitler tweet, him peeing in his basement, his many videos on Brie Larson, and more. Jeremy, furious, responded on the same day of its upload on nearly every platform at his disposal.
He takes basically the same boring old, like, little 10 greatest hits from the far left, you know, the whole yikes. We're gonna take every joke extremely out of context. We're gonna look at really old videos.
Though Jeremy was displeased at Ethan Klein of H3H3 not providing extensive context, Jeremy himself would not even watch the content court before making this video, and proceeded to be deceptive about its contents.
Really, really low brow, low energy stuff. I really wasn't going to respond to it, but, you know, once he starts talking about my wife, like, repeatedly, then I kind of have a problem. I barely even watched, I probably watched a grand total of 15 minutes of this, and it seemed like every little spot I picked, he was talking about my wife. My wife is somebody that remains offline, does not interact with anybody, and no, I don't believe she's fair game. You know, because he can't stop talking about my wife. I think he's probably jealous. I mean, my wife is a beautiful woman. She's, you know, funny and kind, and she hasn't been with Keemstar. It's sad how far Ethan Klein has fallen and how he's just basically, you know, he used to produce great content and now he just lazily regurgitates content he read, you know, about other content creators.
Jeremy would make it seem as if Ethan Klein was making disparaging remarks about his wife. The top comment reflects this and celebrates Jeremy's own comment, insinuating that Ethan Klein's wife slept with another creator. In the content court video that Jeremy did not watch, Jeremy's wife is only brought up when Jeremy brings up his wife. From when he urinated in his basement, to his comments about her disbelief that he was not using her lotion to masturbate. On Twitter, Ethan asked Jeremy for a timestamp for where in the content court he insulted his wife. Jeremy instead responded with, quote, "Ethan, I appreciate the free promotion and your concern about my dick size, my sex life, and the lineage of my family. This video is defamatory and desperate. You and I both know if you were anyone else, this would be creator-on-creator harassment and a strike. You've fallen so far." Unquote. Jeremy on the Incredible Saltmine channel would admit to not watching this video once more.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Who the fuck? 2 hours.
It was in this stream that Jeremy clarified that, despite campaigning on Ethan and talking about his wife, he acknowledges that it was not any way disparaging.
My wife, at many times, not like in a disparaging way, it just brings her into the conversation, which I find kind of shitty. He brings her in like in a negative way, you know, in a negative way.
As Ethan also brought up Jeremy's Hitler tweet, he now reframes it as being a joke, though the joke is not entirely clear.
How the fuck are they so stuck on this? It was obviously a fucking joke. And like, they...
this is the thing on Twitter. They said, was it... What did you say again?
I said,
it was really obvious.
Yeah, of course it was. It was like another Hollywood person said Hitler bad. And I was like, ooh, stunning and brave. And like, and then everyone's like, oh, he's pro-Hitler.
Jeremy's co-host would join in on mocking Jeremy.
Dude, don't do me like this. Don't do me like this.
Brie Larson, set to last 24 hours. Oh, good. There's one. Right, okay. I'm just gonna put the little stopwatch on my screen. I'm gonna hit go, and then I'll talk for 10 minutes. As soon as that hits that 10-minute marker, is it? Oh, it's 8 now. All right, okay. As soon as that hits 8 minutes, I'm just gonna hit stop. Anyway, there's so much that I would want to talk about in regards to Brie Larson. Ding, 8 minutes. But we can get into that another time. Thanks very much, guys. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.
Another clip coming up next. I'll see you in a few minutes.
To add to Jeremy's stress, though he was uploading more, his viewership was no longer increasing relative to how often he was uploading.
Because you upload like fucking 4 videos a day.
Yeah, 7 to 10 usually every day. Because I usually do like 2 to 3 on Midwestly too. I'm getting fatter, and like my heart can't be in great shape. You know, because I'm spending so much time sitting at my desk, and like, but fuck, man, when it's like you get on that fucking heroin drip of you know, AdSense revenue every single day, it's like, fuck, it's really hard to get off it unless someone forces you off, like you quit cold turkey, like getting demonetized or something, you know?
Though Jeremy sought endless growth, the more traction his videos got, the more opposition he received. Just a day after the content court was uploaded, The Quartering is a Nazi subreddit was created, a small but growing group of Redditors who greatly disliked Jeremy. Conversely, by the end of 2020, The Quartering surpassed 1 million subscribers. Rather than focus entirely on covering articles, Jeremy continued to make videos giving attention to his critics.
I got hammered on a Twitch stream once and peed in the drain in the unfinished part of my basement. Like, I don't even care about that, but these people are obsessed with it. It's hilarious. Like, look, when you have no mortgage on your beautiful home, you can pee in it wherever you want. And the fact that they think this is some kind of own is weird. It's never something I denied.
Jeremy on the Incredible Saltmine would admit to urinating in or on several more places.
He calls me one night at like 1 in the morning. I happen to have people, I'm just fucking obliterated. And it's Mark, so I'm like, I gotta answer it. It's the first time he's ever called me. And so I go out in the garage, and I'm smoking a cigarette while I'm talking to him. He can hear me smoking. He's like, "Oh, you smoke?" I'm like, "Oh." I felt judged a little bit. And then I had to piss so bad, but there was like music and everything else going on in the house. So I just start pissing in a bucket. Like there's a 5-gallon bucket in my garage. I just start pissing in a bucket, and a dude comes out. My buddy comes out. He's like, "What the fuck? You're pissing in the garage?" All I hear is like a 10-second silence from Mark. Mark's like, "Do you need me to call you? Do you want to call me back?" I'm like, no, he's just joking. He's just joking. I'm not really pissing in my garage.
Why do you keep pissing in random parts of your fucking house, man?
My wife, like, sometimes, like, I get home late on, like, dart night. It's like, I usually get home at, like, 1 in the morning, and I've been drinking since, like, 5 or 6, and then I take the dogs out when I get home so then I could sleep in a little bit longer. And then, like, oftentimes I'll be standing out there with the dog who's peeing, and then I'm also peeing. And then she, like, got up one night and saw me out there taking a leak next to the dog who was also taking a leak. She's like, "Gross, why don't you just come inside?" I was like, "What do you mean? I'm right next to the dog who's pissing in the lawn. What's the difference?" Sometimes I'll take my dog out. He's still got to be on a leash, and like I got to piss too. So I'm like, I'm just, I'm gonna piss. And then he's like, he's pissing, I'm pissing. And like, if he gets done first, he's like, "What's going on over here?" I'm like trying to hold him off while I'm pissing so I don't piss on him. I'm like, God damn it. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I have pissed on my dog too.
Jeremy, facing undue stress, released a video in February because his channel performed poorly the day before.
Every year, seems to be 2 to 3 times a year, there is this algorithmic reset or a shadow banning. It goes by very different names, but if you've been around, you know that this channel has talked about it several times. My channel being affected very negatively by this most recent one, cutting views by as much as 50%. Now, a lot of people might say, "Oh, people just are getting sick of your stuff," or I didn't really like it. No. I have a big enough subscriber base that to lose 50% of your video or views in a day is way bigger than just a few boring topics. And I put out a tweet about it this morning, and more than a dozen other creators reached out to me confirming the exact same problems. It is super stressful. When this stuff happens, I pace around my house wondering about how to change my financial decisions, etc. And my employees wonder, and they see this type of thing. Mental stress that YouTubing, and look, yes, I know being a coal miner is more difficult. Being over-the-road truck driver is difficult too. I understand, okay? I'm not complaining about, I'm not saying YouTube is the most difficult job ever. But what I am saying is the mental toll that YouTube places on content creators like myself and others with lack of communication and transparency is unlike almost any other job.
As with the many other times Jeremy released a video on his channel's viewership, Social Blade shows no viewership variation for the month of February 2021. And despite it being the shortest month of the year, February outperformed the previous 6 individual months. Though it is also possible that Jeremy's videos were getting demonetized at a higher rate, or his earnings were simply just not satisfactory. Come March, Jeremy used a tried and tested method of inducing financial support. It begins with Zombie Kills, a controversial Twitch streamer that Jeremy made multiple videos covering. She was allegedly being harassed and Jeremy was being blamed for it. This Twitter user claimed that she was swatted, naming and blaming Jeremy for the event, and asking for his sponsors to abandon him, all while failing to provide evidence he did such a thing. Various creators came out in support of Jeremy while denouncing the Twitter user. Jeremy covered this situation on his channel and the Twitter user deleted her tweet. Jeremy then released a video recapping the situation, emphasizing that he needed financial support during this time.
For myself and my staff. A lot of people forget, just for this YouTube channel, there's 4 full-time employees.
Jeremy would transition this into promoting his Subscribe Star, a Patreon alternative.
But we are now 47% of the way to essentially securing all of their jobs, regardless of if these fools get my sponsors removed or something bad like that.
Jeremy also makes it clear that this was financial support for his business. Fundraising for litigation against anyone slandering him would be a separate fund if he decided to go that route. This is a screenshot of Jeremy's Subscribestar from February 24th, 2021. There are 3 goals on the right-hand side, all relating to support of his staff members or funding the TheQuartering website. While there is a percentage attached to them, there is no clear number attached to the goals. It is not possible to quantify how much Jeremy was earning, but it is possible to quantify support if only through how many likes and comments his post received. This post, published February 22nd, 2021, has 16 likes and 5 comments. On March 5th, after making the video requesting support, the same post has significantly more interactions, up now to 68 comments and 161 likes. Optimally, Jeremy's goals could also be tracked by how much the percentage of the goals has increased, but this is not possible because he removed or edited the old goals, the new ones highlighting protecting himself from the cancel culture mob. Jeremy's finances would be a topic of a podcast he attended later in the month, spurred on by conversation of his wife's planes.
She went to it. She's selling her existing plane. We don't have like Tim Pool money, so we have to sell the plane she has now before she can get something else.
Wait, she has a plane?
Yeah,
though
she has Zenith 750. It's like a bush plane. Yeah,
that's a. You have if you got a plane, that's
it's all right. Yeah. It's not a jet.
I don't have Tim Pool
It's
money,
not a jet.
But we're deciding which plane to buy after we sell the current plane we've got.
Every time I say that, I'm like, yeah, please keep super chatting me. But
Normally, financial growth or growth in subscribers is enough to sate Jeremy, enough to keep him motivated to grow. But something was different this time. The wealth he was incurring, the support he was receiving, was diminishing in its effect as he began taking more time off and was forced to face his life outside of work. Jeremy did not like what little purpose he found. He explores these feelings in a video uploaded in April titled, "I've been kind of depressed."
Getting older, thinking about like, man, I don't have any kids, and all these things that pop in your head. I guess it's like a midlife crisis, so to speak, but not like a crisis. I didn't go out and buy a Harley or anything like that. But like, I've also been freaking grinding on YouTube for basically the last 3 years. Daily videos on 1 or 2 channels. Multiple daily videos. This is really what kind of was like an epiphany for me. A bunch of people backed me on Subscribestar, which is like a free speech alternative to Patreon. Reality is, because people chose to back me there, I could afford to maybe not do 5 videos a day, 5 days a week. And that kind of started me thinking about like, okay, like, maybe you don't have to work so much. So in terms of like mental health, I have this thing that is not unique, where I feel alone all the time, even though I'm not. It makes it really, really difficult to relate to anybody. I wouldn't say that I have any close friends. Like, they may think we're close, but like, I don't view them in that way. And I don't mean to be mean. I'm also a workaholic, so it makes it difficult to, garner friendships or even relationships. I mean, my whole life, it's certainly affected my marriage, of course. If I have a great day, let's say I upload 4 or 5 videos that I'll get at least 100,000 views each, and they're all monetized, that is a massive dopamine hit. That's big money. I go a day and a bunch of my videos get demonetized. It's like the exact opposite. You feel like you lost out. I feel incapable of taking a day off.
This was a video of lucidity. While the evidence in his history already pointed to it, Jeremy works for no other purpose than to grow his channel, to appease his anxiety, to distract himself from himself. He was pushing himself to find purpose outside of work, even if it pained him, to address what he considers an unsatisfying personal life. Evidently, this was too much to bear, because 3 months later, he was already back to uploading over 10 videos a day.
By the way, if you don't know, I have a political channel where I do 3 videos a day, 3 to 4 videos a day. It's called Midwestly. I do 5 to 7 videos a day on TheQuartering, and I'm happy to do that. But I have a really difficult time relaxing, allowing myself to relax. I was lucky enough to get a PlayStation 4, 5, and an Xbox Series X at launch. Haven't even turned them on still. I've been wanting to get back into Final Fantasy XIV. I've been wanting to play New World, but I've never allowed myself to play the games, just play them, because I could always be making content. Now, I've worked on this mentality to try and overcome it, be able to enjoy something, but I'm incapable.
With Jeremy's continued instigation, the latter half of 2022 was full of ridicule. Creator Phil DeFranco, in response to Jeremy calling Megan Fox a walking sex doll, called Jeremy gross in return. The H3 podcast did yet another segment covering Jeremy in October with the highlight video titled TheQuartering 1 pooped his pants, 2 pees in his basement, 3 has crotch rot. Then again in November.
Yeah, so he was doing a live stream and this turned up. Ela, what do you think? Reddit forced cream pie.
Well, I didn't even understand what that means.
Yeah, I had to do some investigating.
Jeremy responded to this with 2 tweets. The second one reads, quote, "So weird of the tolerant left thinks this is an own. Real tolerant," unquote. Jeremy was even mocked by his wife for something entirely different.
Well, now, like, I used to, like, point it out on TV all the time. Like, there's 10 members of this cast and 6 of them are gay. Curious, I'd say, you know. My wife's a bit of a normie and she's like kind of sick of it. she's like, she'll be like, "Oh, is that cringe, Jeremy? Is that cringe?" And I'm like, when you say it, I don't want. That's why I stopped saying cringe. She started saying it.
There was more to come before the end of the year. On Kiwi Forums, a user archived Jeremy's recent rant about his loss of hair and the amount he works. At the end of October, Jeremy released another video claiming he was the target of YouTube's demonetization. Finally, in December, he made a video bringing attention to those mocking him and his IBS. Jeremy then closed the year by announcing his New Year's resolution to find a work-life balance, to not smoke, and to lose weight. While it is possible he did stop smoking, it is certain he failed with the other 2 resolutions. By 2022, it had been 3 years since Jeremy initially told the Walmart story, yet it was still in circulation. Now evolving to where creators were breaking down his choices in depth with diagrams to prove the inefficiency in his choices. In April, there was yet another Twitter rant on the topic of balding and soiling himself. In the midst of this mockery, Jeremy was making plans to create something that could sustain him outside of YouTube. With a history of failed websites, he was investing into something material. He was investing into the coffee brand Coffee, a title of his own creation. Coffee brand Coffee was formally announced in a video titled "My Coffee Company is Under Attack." Jeremy clarifies in the video that the title was clickbait and a marketing ploy to bring attention to his newest project. Jeremy would heavily promote this coffee, to the point that there are, at this moment, approximately 1,000 videos on his channel talking about or mentioning Coffee brand Coffee by name. On June 8th, infamous political commentator Tim Pool was swatted. Jeremy viewed this as an opportunity for promotion. He spent $100 in chat tying the high stress of his swatting to one of the stress-relieving teas or cocos he offers. Jeremy was also swatted later that night. As for the donation, on Twitter, Pimp Master Yoda 1 made a comment in jest, asking if Jeremy gave the officers free coffee. Jeremy was none too pleased, citing the aggression and or lack of critical thinking of the police officers. As for the coffee brand Coffee, Jeremy wanted something uncomplicated, which is why he named the coffee brand Coffee. Coffee brand Coffee was being sold as apolitical, though he constantly advertised it on his political commentary channel. He saw this as a necessary boost to then hopefully detach it from his brand, and perhaps see it on store shelves. There was an issue with this. Not only with Jeremy's brand inherently tied to his coffee business, but also the possibility of it being tied to the roasters. On July 17th, 2022, Kiwi Farms user Cat Attack compiled several images from Jeremy's visit to his roasters, and from a suspiciously similar-looking roaster. Cat Attack highlighted the red trim. While more saturated in the commercial, it was still apparent. Most damning was image 5 in the set. In both Jeremy's commercial and Mill Creek's Instagram page, there appears to be coffee beans being poured out of some sort of mixer, though these roasting devices are seemingly mass-produced, there is one very odd pattern that they both share, one that, for no reason, should be the same. It is the paint. Right below the hatch, the paint is chipped, a design flaw that undoubtedly mixed paint chips with coffee beans. The pattern in the chipped paint is the exact same. If Jeremy is indeed sourcing his coffee from Mill Creek Roasters, then it also means it is attached to their politics, which are opposed to Jeremy's perceived politics. But the rabbit hole goes deeper, as this Reddit post points out. It appears both Jeremy's brand and Player One Coffee, owned by the CEO of Meta PCs, shared a registration address, and the address is in the same state as Roasters. Located just outside the city they are located in. To this, Jeremy admitted to sharing a fulfillment center.
Like, this is not an own. It's like the same mentality of like, you peed in your basement. Like, you have a coffee operation that has shipped 30,000 units in the last 3 months. Gotcha! You used a fulfillment center to ship. Name a single business that doesn't. I don't even understand. I don't understand these people.
As for Mill Creek,
oh, it's just rebranded. It's just rebranded this or rebranded that. It's absolutely not. If anyone understands anything about business, yeah, you have distributors. It's not like I went out and bought like $1 million in machinery to roast my own beans. That's not how any of this works. But like any idiot knows that. And like these clowns, there's like 15 clowns, and then now Rick, who are like, ooh, exposed a facility that does fulfillment for him occasionally on a certain roast is associated with him, and ooh, we got him. It's like they handle one tiny part of the business, but because they hate me, they've been harassing them, calling them, emailing them, and it's really pathetic.
And this was hardly the last controversy attached to Jeremy's coffee. In August of 2022, Jeremy promoted his coffee by placing money in random orders.
So let's get that guy some money. Man, this recession sucks. Well, let's give you guys some stimulus. We're gonna throw some, ooh, we got some 50s in here, so.
By the third video, the comments completely turned on Jeremy. Quote, I like to drink my coffee brand coffee while playing Raid Shadow Legends sitting on my 1 square foot of land in Scotland that I am a lord of. Awesome! A video dedicated to a product he talks about 4 times a day. I love this new channel dedicated to coffee brand coffee and how it mixes in other stories too. Very similar to TheQuartering if anyone remembers that channel. Unquote. Jeremy stopped utilizing this marketing ploy and accidentally revealed his monthly earnings on YouTube. From late July to August 22nd, Jeremy earned $46,000 solely from his YouTube channel. Not included is profit from donations on live streams or revenue from sponsors. Even on the day of this leak, Jeremy was not swayed from promoting his subscribe star or coffee, using fear as a motivator.
I promote people into like backing me as a member or using my subscribe star. There is a funnel there. It just needs to get better. And that's why I continue to support alt tech, because stuff like this, if it can happen to Joe Rogan, it's certainly happening to the rest of us little guys and gals.
The following month, Jeremy, likely seeing the backlash from his previous marketing campaigns, tried marketing the coffee with transparency. The only issue was, compared to the hundreds of thousands his videos typically get, this video only received 8,000 views, and Jeremy was petitioning more and more for donations. Even in October, he was directing his viewers to yet another alternative subscription platform, fear-mongering with a potential ban. Just as was with the dip in views, or nearly every other threat against him, this was no different. There was no ban, no dip in viewership. His channel was not under attack. But something was off-kilter. Jeremy was on the precipice of another breakdown, potentially sourced from this channel. In March of 2021, Trillium was doxxed and deleted her small channel, but made a new one. She contacted Jeremy, and Jeremy, as a target of doxing, supported her. She made a video thanking him, and so on. However, Jeremy specifically notes,
a channel that she admits she uses to overcome a bit of her social anxiety issues. She admits that she, lives basically in kind of her own personal bubble. She makes videos about seeds and video games.
Aside from gardening, Jeremy has described himself as all of these things. In a follow-up video that opens with hearts Jeremy or his editor added on screen, Trillian expresses her gratitude towards Jeremy and his viewers for growing her new channel. This then leads to Jeremy admitting to watching nearly all of her videos and offers his assistance in case she ever wanted to stream.
And Trillium, I'll be keeping an eye on you. You can always email me. keep things, private. If you have questions or whatever, you don't.
This next video is from Jeremy's own stream after.
I'm trying to find more fulfillment, because like YouTube won't last forever, right? And I realized that the Trillium thing made me feel really good. For me, I thought maybe the closest I've come to feeling that way was helping Trillium. Trillium? For $5, I'll make a video. Well, look, I don't want to put any pressure on you. All right? But I just want to say that it ruined my day when I didn't have a new video from you today. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
In August, Jeremy received custom leashes for his dogs and a card from Trillium. Jeremy would send support to another similarly small channel known as Melanie Mac.
Just like with Trillium, just like with Melanie, just like with MXR Plays, or, whatever the case may be, Ishra Gaming, don't just do it because I told you to. Watch a video or two and see if you want to support her.
Melanie Mac is someone Jeremy would take interest in, but that would have to wait. In March of 2022, rather than mention Trillium offhandedly, he made an entire video dedicated to her.
Something's been weighing on my mind over the past 3 or so weeks, really the last month or so, and that's really the disappearance of Trillium, a YouTuber that I have a strong, I don't know, like, I feel protective. Like, if you go to Trill's channel, like, I watch all of her videos, all of them. I mean, if they're not read on here, then that means I watched them on a different account. Okay, this is an important part of my day. There used to be daily or every other day videos, but now I feel like, and I don't want to put pressure on her because I know that's how she's going to be, how she's going to perceive this, but that's not what I mean. It's just her content is important to me. Her success is important to me, and her safety and happiness are important to me. And she had disappeared for about, I don't know, a month or something like that. Came back and kind of let everyone know that, hey, my mom isn't doing well. But they had seemed like they had got together a plan. Kind of 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by. I sent her an email, gave her my number. I was like, hey, if you need anything, you need us to crowdfund something or whatever. People think this job is easy, and maybe it is, but it requires you be plugged in like 24/7, like waking up in the middle of the night, checking your phone, see what's trending. There's some big thing happen. And then I'd watch her videos about like taking yucca leaves and making twine out of them. And they're an important grounding factor for me.
Trillium did return in June, stating that her mother's illness was a reason for her absence, which is when Jeremy released this video.
I don't have any way to really get in touch with you privately, and obviously not that I would expect that. But so as long as as you're on YouTube, I'll be keeping an eye out for you, keep an eye on you. I did message you a few times, checking in on you, because we missed you and we were worried.
Trillium would post sporadically, then disappear entirely in the upcoming months. This takes us back to Jeremy aggressively petitioning for more donations in late 2022. The absence of Trillium, or the multiple uploads a day with the addition of a new company, was stressing Jeremy. He was nearing his breaking point on November 29th, 2022. This day, Elon Musk on Twitter made a post about free speech, which Jeremy replied to, requesting clarity, and asking for a 10-minute Zoom interview, mentioning his 1.4 million subscribers and his fight for free speech. Elon Musk declined by stating that he had been very specific. Jeremy responded one more time, but it does not appear that Elon replied to him. On December 18th, Elon made a poll, asking if he should step down from Twitter. TheQuartering, in response to Elon Musk unable to find a suitable CEO for Twitter, stated, quote, "Elon, I want to do it, and I can keep it alive. Not only that, grow it far beyond what it is now. I have a complex understanding of all tech, what Twitter needs, and what creators need. I also have a dozen years running a marketing agency that represented Fortune 500 companies companies. Even if you laugh out loud at this, I am 100% certain I could at the very least help immensely with prioritizing product rollouts that will maximize growth in the shortest time frame, and I would be happy to do it for free." Unquote. 4 hours later, Jeremy warned that the culture war is coming down to the next 12 hours. Quote, "I am going to sacrifice everything tomorrow and try to implore people to vote no on his poll." Unquote. Jeremy, 3 minutes later, blamed leftists for voting yes. Then 9 minutes later, tagged 11 different influential friends. Then again, 3 and 9 minutes later, begged Elon to extend his poll, stating that he is even leaving his bed to make a video. Jeremy continued to tweet. A Twitter user commented on how frustrated Jeremy was over this, calling it Jeremy's personal 9/11. Jeremy responded, quote, "Yes, Twitter is the public square. Losing freedom of speech in that square is more important than 9/11. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? It makes me feel like shit to say it, but it's also true." Unquote. Other creators, like Mr. Beast, were not as appreciative of Elon as Jeremy was, though he did try to change his mind. By the 10th tweet, Jeremy had released his video and tagged Elon Musk, asking if he could get just 3 minutes on the phone with him.
I literally got out of bed to make this video. My most important video that I've literally ever made on this channel.
Jeremy in this video asked his viewers to vote on Elon's poll, and if they didn't have an account, he requested they make one. Then he attempts to rally his contemporaries.
I'm calling my fellow content creators, Sydney Watson, Count Dankula, Bering, Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin. If they let this window pass without throwing their hat in the ring, without getting out of bed to fight for freedom of speech, I will forever remember it. But if you don't get out of bed as a fellow content creator, if you don't wake up and fight for this, I don't ever want to hear your freaking opinion ever again about freedom of speech. I need you to remember this moment when all of my fellow free speech content creators were in bed, okay? Why they weren't paying attention to the most important decision in free speech online in history. Look, I'm 40. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I'm not long for this planet. Is the culture war. Twitter is the public square, and we must keep Elon in charge.
Jeremy's video was not being well received, nor were his comments stating that Elon potentially stepping down is worse than 9/11. Creator Nicholas DeOrio was one of many antagonizing Jeremy, enough so that Jeremy challenged him to a boxing match, to where DeOrio referenced Jeremy's Gen Con assault as evidence that he was already on a losing streak. After a long night of tweeting, Jeremy was going to bed. So I had a mental breakdown. This video was posted December 21st. Jeremy explains the tweets were the results of stress from his coffee company, from startling dishes not working, from helping other creators, and coping with alcohol. Jeremy again expresses his desire to achieve an acceptable work-life balance.
It's crazy when like things are going good on YouTube and like you're just uploading videos and everyone's a banger and everything's going good and you're earning good money and you know the channel is adding all these new subscribers, which I'm very thankful for. But it's addicting. And I have clearly an addictive personality, so...
Jeremy will not begin 2023 strong because he was banned on Twitter for sharing a photo of Eliza Blue, a photo that could be found in a music video. This ban was reversed, but not before he alluded to her connections with Tim Pool, and how little he was doing to support him.
I posted a publicly available screenshot for a video that is still currently live on YouTube of a particular public figure who is currently known as Eliza Blue, but has been known under at least 4 other names that I know of, none of which are her birth name, where her dad is a Republican politician. A lot of Republicans, Republican content creators, and I don't like I don't like bullying people or trying to guilt people into support, but there have been a lot of people very curiously quiet, people that platformed this woman for clicks on their podcasts or their YouTube videos.
The dispute between Tim and Jeremy was worse than he was letting on, going as far to tweet that there was no drama between them, but there are disagreements. By February 4th, Tim had blocked Jeremy on Twitter, a decision partly made due to Jeremy messaging him about Eliza Blue.
We booked him twice. He canceled on us twice. The second time he canceled on us at the exact last minute, and we didn't know, and we had to find someone else. Fortunately, we had Matt Strickland on, and he was great. Then I'll let everybody who's a member know why I blocked him, because he sent me a message at 2 a.m, which came off as a veiled threat. I will try and quote it verbatim what he said. "I know our audiences want a war, but I don't. Please tell me your guy is taking her to task.
It was not soon after that Jeremy had another episode.
Bruh, you have done it. Drunk live many times. Oh, you have done it drunk live many times. Oh, of course. I've done plenty of drunk live streams. Just not right now.
This episode did involve alcohol, but it was different from the rest because it was in the window of a 4-hour live stream where Jeremy would get more and more intoxicated, culminating in guests joining him at peak intoxication.
If Anna or Brittany, they both have my cell phone number. So if they want to come on, I'll send them the link. I must have a female. Wait, let me get some boobs on here. Allie. All right, I'll get you in here, Allie. Allie Drummond, okay? I'm going to require a cam on for her. There's thousands of people in this chat have never seen me without a hat on. I'm not drunk at all, I'm that age. Ready? Okay. Sure, I've gone from a 4-head to a 5-head, but I'm not bald. I need a vagine in this chat so I can go pee. I gotta pee so bad, but one of these girls better show up. Welcome to the stream. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm killing it.
Yeah, I didn't think that anybody would be into pregnant chicks, but hey, I guess the internet's a big place, so maybe they are.
She also has an OnlyFans where she sells breast milk pictures, stuff like that. So, Allie, I mean, we've only ever exchanged nudes online. So, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. My husband actually likes your content, and I didn't even know that you had reacted to my content before. I didn't even think you looked at my channel like that.
Well, it's obviously before you were pregnant. Now that I know you're pregnant, I've moved on. I'm diagnosed Asperger's, so I can say it.
Oh, what?
But
you seem like the very normal. What?
Hello.
Oh my Lord.
I love how much women hate her just because she's so beautiful.
I was pretty ugly before I learned how to do my hair and my eyebrows.
Oh yeah, and you were blessed with gigantic boobs. But the
came in later.
Are you live right now?
Yeah.
Are you live right now? Yeah. So
Yeah,
if you want, I'm not going to be offended. Brittany said she's going to pop a nip later. Maybe when I say later, we don't really know when that means. Astro Boy says, Jeremy's not for the night. You're hurting your brand. What do you mean? My brand is what I am.
Jeremy deleted the stream, and the following months he made his first video of the year claiming YouTube was targeting his channel, deeming the survival of his channel and others were important to fight the culture war. The last section of this video is dedicated to persuading viewers to join his mailing list or join his locals page, where he states financial support is optional. To add to Jeremy's list of projects and responsibilities that include his coffee, his main channel, his Rumble live streams, his constant advertising that has him tweeting on average 20 times a day was now the Publica, his magnum opus. A news website like Exclusively Games that was meant to deliver more neutral and honest stories, co-founded by Sydney Watson, someone who Jeremy also had a podcast with. Jeremy and the rest of his audience will later find out Sydney did not have a high opinion of him. This clip could possibly explain why.
Have you ever peed in a trough where there's like dongs on the left of you and to the right? You can
Bro,
see them both.
You
and
don't
you're
have to
peeing
look
in an
at
open
them.
river.
You don't have to look at them. It's
You
not
have
like
to look. It's a respect thing. I guess I can only speak of, to my experience. If there's a guy who is like supremely hung, you would like rib him about it. You know what I mean? Versus like be jealous. Most of our conversations are you saying, man, I really want to put a bunch of work into things. And I'm like, Sid, whore yourself out.
Sometimes you even just text me tits.
Maybe this is something that guys and girls can come together on.
Yeah.
So when I know, like, let's say I go to like a fair or a festival or something like that, right? I take Imodium before I go.
What's that?
It's like for diarrhea. So it like.
Oh, you do not, dude. What is happening? This is
I
devolving.
Do from that.
This is not information that I needed.
It's called the life hack, Sydney. Okay,
it just confirms for me that men are revolting.
The importance of the success of the Publica to Jeremy was the same as his coffee. He chased it as an out to increase his income while lessening the time he worked on YouTube, as any dip in revenue would increase stress. That and he was discontent with the direction of YouTube, now angry that they were pushing YouTube channel promotions, asserting how insulting the proposition was to have to pay YouTube to promote his videos while his subscribers were not receiving notifications. Even so, this service would be on the back of Jeremy's mind. For now, compared to 2022, 2023 seemed like a better year for Jeremy. His life was beginning to see some stability, but then in August, his father passed away. In this video, he reflects on the shortness of life, the importance of spending it with loved ones, and the importance of making peace with others while there is still time. In November, after 6 years of not posting on it, Jeremy resurrected his RC channel, a decision he made to relieve stress. This is a channel he'd post most frequently to in 2024, a year that pushed Jeremy towards TheQuartering and away from his failing external projects. Still, a ghost of a former project would come back to haunt him in a somewhat ironic way.
When you are living off other people's work exclusively, I think that's the definition of parasitic. You can make the same argument. Look, I cover other people's news too, right? I try to say, hey, this is where it's come from. Try to give,
Jeremy was irritated that his former employee Ian Miles Chung had posted on Twitter one of the Publica's headlines without giving credit to the website. After Chung got into an argument with Jeremy on Twitter, Chung posted the infamous 2008 video of Jeremy.
Here's the creep advising peds on how to clean up their messes. And his response was to take a video from 20 years ago where I am simply describing to people that when they take their computers in to get fixed, oftentimes techs will look at the files. It obviously had nothing to do with advising predators, okay?
Jeremy is misremembering or lying. It was not just a video informing viewers that techs look at impertinent information when doing repairs. It was also a video giving the specific advice to rename or delete sensitive folders. Advice given after he told a story about how a predator had insufficiently hid their files. Regardless, Jeremy threatened to sue Chung for libel, and that's as far as the disagreement went. In April of 2024, Jeremy instead had his eyes on two different creators, Styx Hexenhammer 666 and Melanie Mac. Jeremy started two podcasts with them independent of one another. Styx Hexenhammer has a reciprocal energetic feeding or a sort of pact with Stolas, a non-Judeo-Christian demon that takes a form of an owl and visited him first when he was a child. In simple terms, he worships a demon owl. Melanie Mac is a Christian self-proclaimed libertarian who states she does not hate homosexuals but does hate their actions. And Jeremy Hambley is the owner of TheQuartering, a channel that had the goal to push the conversation, not further tensions. He is the owner of two businesses that, while he desperately wants them to remain apolitical, on the same channel that he advertises his businesses is now selling Trump-cooked books, Trump tailgate stickers, and Never Kamala stickers. And by late September 2024, Jeremy was down to running one major business outside of his YouTube because the Publica was no more.
And I didn't have the time to promote paid memberships there that would have helped. Sponsors really aren't out there for a news site that, dunks on, trans weirdos and Indian people and stuff like that. There just wasn't anything out there. So, I guess I didn't get any mysterious billionaire donors either.
Jeremy appeared to have remained cordial with his former employees, but not Sydney Watson, his former business partner.
Are the TheQuartering and Sydney Watson not cool no more? No, 100% not cool, Sydney Watson. She talked massive amounts of shit about me in these feminist DM groups. And one day I'll expose it all. One day I'll share, because all of her woman friends, by the way, turned against her and shared all of her DMs with me. All of her so-called feminist confidants immediately sold her out to me. She said heinous shit about me after I paid for everything with the Publica. And it made me want to sue her because she never paid a single fucking penny for anything at that company. I lost $100,000 or more. Jeremy confirmed doormat. Yeah.
With the failure of the Publica, Jeremy would have to rely more on his YouTube channel, a channel that had its best year ever. In June, he broke his record for monthly viewership at 71 million views. This could also have been a fluke. 2024 was an election year, and Jeremy's channel afterwards could as easily see a decline that would come at the worst time possible, as he had attracted the attention of two persistent adversaries. TheQuartering has made a career by selling outrage, and uses the same strategy to dismiss his critics.
Yeah, Alvin says, Does Sticks know you crapped yourself in a store?
What?
I know that that Albin's not doing this, but sometimes like leftoids are like use that to try to make fun of me. I'm like, I told that story on a podcast. Like, you have to also understand that a significant following is going to bring a significant unfollowing. A group of people that hate you, especially if you talk about some divisive stuff. But you have to understand who's on the other side of that stuff. It's like that person's life sucks. It's terrible.
Over the last 8 years, Jeremy's pleas for support have become more underhanded and more absurd. It began with his initial understanding at the end of his MTG days that having purpose and a defined enemy sells better than anything else he's tried. He has thrown himself in one of the most divisive spaces and has done well for himself. Perhaps too well. On several occasions, he has leaked his earnings, flaunted his wealth, and returned for more. Whether he is pressured by anxiety to earn more as a distraction from his life or is truly terrible with finances, Jeremy has constantly advertised his financial support platforms, businesses, business ventures, even employee salaries as necessities to fight the quote-unquote culture war. As this pattern has become noticeable, the reality of the wealth he has accumulated and the reality he sells that he's always nearing financial ruination does not meld well. This is why 2025 would be the worst year for him. It would be the year that his views, apart from when he started his channel, would be the worst they've ever been. His earnings, while still likely in the tens of thousands per month, would not be going up, incentivizing Jeremy to petition for more money and further fictionalize his opposition that is infinitely powerful.
We are not a dropship outlet. We're a real coffee company. And I made that investment with the plan of having something that could grow. Well, we've never been at our most vulnerable. You probably saw I was selling my Neo Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection. I'm selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff. And it's because I believe in the things that I'm doing. But now we hit a roadblock that I need to try and reach out and give you an understanding of why I could use some help. I can't confirm this for sure. The only thing that we were reliant on anyone else for was some of the boxes for our K-Cups and some of the procedures around that. Well, apparently that person, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect it, saw my YouTube channel and didn't like my politics. And while we have a 20,000 K-Cup order, basically decided to tell us, to pound sand, or I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything back.
The title of this video is Woke Leftist Just Screwed Me Over and All My Staff. Jeremy says he is selling his Neo Geo and Nintendo collection. These are retro gaming consoles and games that Jeremy has a large collection of. As for the core of the video, according to Jeremy, he only assumes the order was cancelled because of his politics. Furthermore, he bought an $80,000 machine to make coffee K-Cups and allegedly took out an $80,000 loan through his credit card to pay for it. That is not even the extent of his debt.
I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt. I'm just being dead serious.
Some of the comments on this video read, quote, "Imagine being financially irresponsible as this and blaming leftists for your own incompetence. Couldn't have happened to a better person. Can't take any responsibility and got ruined in free market doing what 10,000 other YouTubers have done. $300,000 in debt. It's almost like woke ain't the only ones going broke." Unquote. That video was released in March, which appears to be the same month of this livestream where the mutual frustration Jeremy and his viewers had clashed.
Jeremy, your show is not worth all of your BS promotions I have to listen to. I'm done. Okay, 757 driver, first of all, I'm gonna ban you from chat, and you can suck my fucking ass, dude. I have been live streaming on a fucking Sunday for 3 fucking hours. Instead of spending time with my wife and relaxing, I have been streaming for 3 fucking hours. Sorry. Okay? Sorry if I'm trying to make a living. You can go fuck yourself. Okay? Fuck you. I don't have any time for that. You fuck off. I don't want you to watch my videos. I hate you. You know how hard I work on my coffee company? I'm not like these other losers that just do dropship coffee. We have 15 people's jobs that depend on this. So I'm sorry if in 3 fucking hours of live streaming, I talked about it 3 times. I'm sorry.
In April, Jeremy released a video titled, "Woke Psychos Try Destroying Local Business for Being Conservative and It Backfires, Hopefully."
You know, it's kind of become a meme on this channel of like, I'm under attack. Like, I get that.
This near 14-minute video is about Jeremy being disgruntled that he got a 1-star review. This is a 1-star review out of 36 reviews. The other 35 are all 5 stars. The review in question shows no indication that it was motivated by Jeremy's politics because the user is very specific with their criticism, citing the high price of $100 for 6 items in the package. These are 3 snacks of dubious quality, 2 small bags of coffee, and a reusable K-cup. As evidence that this user was politically motivated, he fed the response to Grok, Twitter's AI, and asked it if it was politically motivated. Jeremy then admitted he reported the review to Amazon. The comments on this video are vastly different than the last. They are still in the same spirit, but are cryptic with their messaging. Quote, "The casino sends its regards, Quarter Pounder. Bro, rule number 1 of the internet, never feed the trolls. The house always wins." Unquote.
You're asking them to do super chats. You're asking them to get channel memberships. You're asking them to do memberships at TheQuartering.com, Rumblecast, watch the videos, watch the ads, and then they also have to buy the coffee? Like how much more do you need?
Content creators PPP and Andy Worski have been online for a very long time. They are internet jesters, and together they are the Kino Casino. Unlike Jeremy's prior opposition, their motivation for choosing their targets is not influenced by politics. They don't take themselves or their critiques all too seriously. They do accentuate the absurdity of infamous figures, covering their antics on their live streams spread across months, maybe even years. In Jeremy's case, they are the worst enemy to have because the Kino Casino does what Jeremy does, only infinitely better. Jeremy draws online stalemates by sheer attrition or manipulation. He uploads so many videos against his targets and selectively edits them that accurately responding to them all is unfeasible. Such was the case with TheQuartering Community College and the H3 podcast. He can maintain his ironically skeptic audience with his deception, knowing that they will only ever watch his video on the matter. The Kino Casino, however, just like Jeremy, weaves narratives about creators they cover, where Jeremy is reliant on a handful of pejoratives that he uses indiscriminately. The Kino Casino is far more crude, specific, and unconcerned with their insults, as Jeremy would later find. At first, their coverage of Jeremy began in 2024. It was mostly through stories he was tangential to. If anything, they were following Styx Hexenhammer more. Interest in Jeremy grew when Styx failed to show up to his live show. This is when Jeremy found out live that his co-host had been arrested for domestic violence. Jeremy then spent the rest of the stream attempting to bail him out, even asking if any audience members lived near Styx to walk over the documentation needed for bail. It was not until around April 2025 that the Kino Casino had an invested interest in TheQuartering. Again, partly because of Styx, who admitted to be working for Jeremy basically for free, likely to pay off his bail, and on a live show fell asleep.
He's not happy right now. He's staring at Styx, and Styx is just in a blissful dream state on drugs. He's like, what do we do with this guy?
This can't.
Look at Quartering, bro. He's very displeased right now.
Jeremy fired Styx because of this blunder. The Kino Casino proceeded to cover Jeremy as one of their main targets. Initially, their coverage was on Jeremy's business-related videos, particularly the ones where Jeremy attributes political beliefs to anyone that negatively affected his business. Jeremy was now dealing with a truly declining channel, a possibly failing business, and the Kino Casino. This is likely why he uploaded this video on May 20th.
This year has been the most stressful, most difficult year of content creation that I've ever had.
Naturally, to counter the stress, Jeremy was tweeting about expanding his RC collection, teasing at more RC videos. On stream and his podcast with Melanie Mack, and now Hannah Claire, a former employee of Tim Pool, Jeremy would speak of buying watches for around $10,000. On separate occasions, he would talk about the customized Cybertruck he owns and how he's thinking of selling it. On Twitter, users pointed out how Jeremy was flaunting his wealth and weaponizing outrage even more for money. He simply responded with, "Stop being poor, F slur." As to only dig himself a deeper hole, he responded to the Kino Casino covering him, calling PPP the only guy fatter than him on the internet, and Andy Worski a burnt-out cokehead. Also adding, quote, "By the way, I'm happy to join these clowns any night on a stream," unquote. The Kino Casino, a live stream and clip channel much smaller than Jeremy, had successfully gotten his attention. Now that they have evidence that Jeremy is aware of their insults, they are motivated to cover him even more, especially now that in June he was continuing to flaunt his wealth by purchasing a massive saltwater fish tank. Only 19 days later, Jeremy uploaded a video titled "I'm Destroying My Channel." In the video, Jeremy talks about having terrible anxiety, spending nearly every night thinking about how he's going to save his channel while reminding his audience that his channel needs to succeed for the sake of his employees.
But I'll rely on YouTube, which has been extremely consistent for me over the past 5 years. For the first time in 3 or 4 years, I have started losing a lot of subscribers, hundreds, thousands a day. I couldn't figure it out. I can't figure it out.
Jeremy pleads to his audience, claiming he is reducing the amount of ad reads to 1 a day. As for his content, Jeremy wants to create in-depth videos and be wrong less.
I think the market has shifted and it's no longer okay just to have to, just to read an article and give my, whoa, that's crazy. I need to be better. And to avoid having my wife sell her feet pictures, I have hired a researcher full-time. I was having near daily anxiety. You see me squirming around, doing this, touching myself, like it's a weird tick, like touching my heart.
Jeremy was agitated, anxious, and one of the casino's prime targets on their July 4th stream. Here, they covered the previous month's happenings, even Jeremy's new, inferior Rumble contract.
So now what he has to do, because of his Rumble deal being changed, he has to show the Rumble subs, and he only gets half of that, honey.
Let's just say we took a pretty huge pay cut at the end of our Rumble contract, and
I wonder why.
Let's go to his most recent video and see if anything
That's
has changed.
That's what I was gonna do.
By the way, what's the title of this video?
Video?
Flight forced to emergency land for insane reasons. So it sounds really clickbaity to me. Okay, at least it didn't start with a coffee plug.
What's the thumbnail? Hang on, let's see the thumbnail. Let's see. I'm done
flying forever. So it's just full on clickbait bullshit.
By the way, one of the last chances to get your hands on a
there it is!
Immediately
he's shilling the coffee. How long did it take for him to shill the coffee?
35 seconds.
35 seconds. So we get literally no content before the shill.
We click the first video.
On Kiwi forums, while much of Jeremy's board devolves into speculation, user Return of the Mac and Cheese, while still joining in on the speculation, would often upload clips from Jeremy's Rumble live streams, making sure to prioritize the release of new information, like Jeremy's bout with gout, his worries with YouTube demonetizing low-effort content, and detailed information on his coffee sales. The Kino Casino would credit and utilize Return of the Mac and Cheese research, making these segments more frequent and more popular.
The following will not be eligible for monetization. Reused or repurposed videos, copied content, that seems the same to me. Low effort uploads,
He goes, oh!
By August, it was clear that Jeremy did not improve the quality of his content. Instead of addressing its flaws, he once again turned the blame on YouTube, blaming the company for selectively lowering his channel's viewership. This is why he made the new channel, Quartering Live.
Used to have Quarter Cast, and there was like 70,000 subscribers on there, but YouTube shadow banned it, which has also been giving me immense stress.
Okay, no, it was shadow banned. The stress of the shadow bans. This is what every fucking political grifter says till the end of fucking time. I've been shadow banned. They're suppressing me in the algorithm.
Jeremy's Quartering Live channel has considerably less viewership than The Quartering. These uploads often get less than 1,000 views a video. With these tests effectively proving the shadow banning of his main channel was false, he was now claiming that the majority of internet traffic is fake.
My videos have basically remained the same quality for 12 years.
Oh my god!
That's the problem, buddy!
Imagine saying that out loud.
So you're saying, pal, that what worked in 2013 should work exactly the same in 2025. That's delusional, buddy.
I just think that there's something weird going on. Like everybody collectively has had enough of the internet.
I'm gonna be real.
No!
I love the internet rules. Okay, guys.
There's dead internet theory, which I do subscribe to, which basically, if I'm oversimplifying it, is that the majority of internet traffic is fake.
Jeremy was using all that he learned in the past 2 decades to attempt to resuscitate his channel, even using his oldest trick.
Have you ever thought to yourself, hey, somebody should be paying me to watch these videos? Well, I've heard you loud and clear, and that's exactly what this week's going to be.
Hey, Quartering, you dumbass. You're supposed to be a businessman that understands this. You know they're supposed to pay you for the streams? That's how you make money. You're not supposed to be paying them. It's another vanity project for you. Look at all the viewers we have that I paid for.
Yeah.
Jeremy was attempting to fall back on giveaways. Only YouTube had long reduced the influence subscribers have on creators. The Kino Casino covered this and were following Jeremy's financial decisions. Come late August, they also began covering Jeremy's many stories of involuntary bowel movements.
Only keep people for an hour, and I was totally off my game because I have anxiety diarrhea from you.
He has anxiety diarrhea. He has anxiety diarrhea.
I was trying to poop for an hour straight before the show, and then once
was it
started,
the 15 beers? For an hour straight. He's on the porcelain throne. The porcelain Punisher is right.
I mean, I had diarrhea for like 5 straight months.
5 straight months. These are the diarrhea files.
When I'm trying to really work on my gut biome, as my well-documented nonstop diarrhea.
In September, the Kino Casino rediscovered the pinnacle of Jeremy's diarrhea-related stories. They uncovered the Walmart story.
The trail of smears?
This is the trail of smears. No, it really is the trail of smears. I hate to spoil it. It's amazing when we get to this.
To Jeremy, this was a step too far. The Kino Casino early September had both covered the Walmart story and dominated the search term Jeremy Hambly, so he renamed his podcast channel.
So if you search for Jeremy Hambly on YouTube, you'll see here that pretty much every single result is now for Kino Casino clip. We have completely taken over this guy's name. Now, we weren't intentionally doing this. This wasn't a plan by ours at all. Jeremy goes, yeah, when you search my name, it's literally only snark and bullshit. It's apparently now required. So Jeremy has rebranded the Quartercast to being Jeremy Hambly, the Jeremy Hambly show.
Help me take back the search results. Basically, people that want to spread like terrible misinformation about
Okay, what is the misinformation?
It's all people who used to watch me, and that's fine. Again, you're allowed to make all the content you want on me. You're just not gonna outrank me.
Jeremy was not only acknowledging the Kino Casino, but also reading their viewers' donations, emboldening them to join in.
What's everybody got going on this weekend? Have your daily diarrhea dump.
Look how felted he is. He knows.
A week later, with the Kino Casino still competing with the search term Jeremy Hambly, Jeremy was now using his main channel to outrank them. On September 17th, Jeremy on Twitter claimed that he has never even heard of the Kino Casino, while at the same time directly replying to their tweet asking to get on their show. When this did not work, he tagged both PPP and Andy Worski. Unable to take out his frustration on them, he instead settled for his employees.
Oh wait, the White House. Did the White House actually post this?
There's a lot of deep fakes around, so who knows?
But they have the White House at the end.
Yeah, but anyone
could cut that, right?
Yeah.
Shut up, bitch.
But this is the thing, like and you saw this with like everything Gavin Newsom's doing right now. Like there's so much push to get better at social media. I mean, I sent Jeremy a post.
She just kept on going with the, I called you a bitch, and you just ignored it completely.
What?
In late October, the Kino Casino grew even more aggressive with their coverage of Jeremy. Their fans did their part.
Jeremy's a Ukraine supporter? No. Oh, I do like your username, though. The Porcelain Punisher?
All of this attention towards Jeremy was going to pay off, especially as he continued to post information related to his earnings, like in mid-October when he showed his previous 30 days of earnings on Rumble, amounting to 26,000. That's not all. He also got 6 million viewers and 195,000 hours viewed by those viewers. Though Jeremy streams 4 hours on end, these stats meant that a viewer, on average, watched only 1 minute and 47 seconds of his content. Something is not quite right about these stats. Noel, the owner of Kiwi Farms, then posted his stats as a direct comparison. Quote, both of us are showing you the last 30 days. Let's do a quick comparison. Jeremy gets approximately 48 times more views, but only 5.6 times as much money. Jeremy gets approximately 48 times more views, but only 2.75 times the watch hours. What is driving me crazy is the last part, 2.75 times the watch hours, unquote. Regardless of Jeremy's peculiar stats, he has now shown that through one revenue source, he has made $26,000, spending more than half of that in November on an RC track.
What kind of dirt did we use? Well, we used what they call baseball mix, like what they use for baseball diamonds. How much? Well, it was about $10,000 to do this. If you do it yourself, probably going to be $4,000 to $5,000. That shipping container was like $5 or $6 grand, and I installed vents and solar lighting on the top, and inside I've run power, but I'm not going to include that. That's like a luxury.
He's not even going to get to use it even one time. I don't know if this is going to survive the winter.
Think about it. 10,000 for the track, 4,000 for the shipping container, 14,000. How much is he asking for the
he said
GoFundMe?
14 grand.
Jeremy was indeed fundraising that amount of money for an upcoming trip.
I bought the equipment so that we could do our show live. I want to be able to interview like Russell Brand,
So,
Jack Posobiec.
He just admitted he already bought all the equipment. Okay.
Help us do this. I would be eternally thankful. And then we would also have all the equipment to do more live events.
But you already
so we would
bought
have
the equipment.
all the equipment.
Yeah. You already bought the equipment. You just told us you bought the equipment. What the fuck is this?
This is fucking a scam, bro. Okay, here we go.
You guys can help us out with something because it cost about $14,000 for me to pay for the crew and to buy the equipment to go out there.
No, for us to
all
pay.
the equipment's here and
what the hell?
paid for.
Okay, so
and,
all the equipment's here and paid for, so why do you need our money again?
Even though Jeremy mentioned he already bought all of the equipment, he would still include it in the fundraising costs. Perhaps Jeremy was reluctant to spend more money because of the failure of the Publica and the downturn in coffee sales. His yearly Advent coffee calendar sold 3,500 units in 2024. He does not think he will surpass 500 sales for it in 2025. Lucky for Jeremy, 2 donators made up the cost for the trip. Jeremy was going to AmericaFest, or AmFest for short, an annual convention hosted by Turning Point USA, and the Kino Casino was going to cover clips of it, analyzing 30 minutes of footage through 3 hours of live streaming. They covered the awkwardness of attendees walking up and interrupting the Quartering's crew to get free bags of coffee that were laid out in front of their set. They also covered how Jeremy's setup was a fire hazard that he had to address. The Kino Casino also noted how little leeway Jeremy was getting, believing him to be a very unimportant attendee. Jeremy brought on guests, spoke of the convention, and fumbled much, to the extent that he misnamed his guest from the organization Gays Against Groomers as Gays for Groomers.
So we've got someone from Gays for Groomers coming up.
We have
Oh no, that's the same one.
No,
That's the same one.
Context.
You're like a new viewer, and you don't know that he mumbles and mush mouths, and you go, "He's having who on?"
And then there was this interaction.
Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight, and
What the fuck?
Hannah Claire is like, what the fuck? I haven't been invited to this football game.
Maybe going somewhere family orientated.
I can't watch football with you guys? You can. Wow.
Ooh, no,
But
Mel
look
goes, "Yeah, come, please."
Is that what it is?
And Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere family.
Look at his
That was a plea. Bring it back. Did she actually mouth help me to her? Like, it almost seemed like it, bro.
Oh my god, wait. Hang on.
No, she did.
And I will
No,
be
I
watching
think
the
she
football
might
game
have.
tonight, and Hannah Claire will probably be going.
What the?
No, did she say help me? Is that real?
Yo,
She did.
Somewhere family orientated.
I can't watch football with you guys? You can.
Now watch her saying "you're welcome" in female speech. Watch this.
Oh yeah, that.
Whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, she fucking said some shit back.
Like,
she mouthed it.
And then last micro.
I can't watch football with you guys?
You can. I would love that.
Oh,
now watch his face here.
Yeah, that would be
Wow,
fun.
thanks, Melanie.
On Kiwi Farms, this interaction was exhaustively analyzed. The Kiwi Farms Twitter account even posted the interaction on Twitter, triggering a response from Jeremy. Jeremy calling it the gayest controversy ever, and tweeting at the owner of Kiwi Farms that this is normal behavior for adults in real life. Jeremy deleted these tweets, but not this one of an AI rendition of the three at Amethyst. Jeremy is portrayed slovenly, next to a fearful Melanie Mack as Hannah Claire looks on with concern. The Kino Casino also covered Day 2 and Day 3 of the Amethyst streams. Afterwards, they took a short break for the holidays and came back to cover Jeremy's declining channel.
His video business, his YouTube channel, has declined to its lowest level in over 5 years, down 66%.
2026 was a different year for Jeremy, where he would normally make the New Year's resolution to stop drinking, to lose weight, to work less. It appears he has resigned himself to stay the same. An unprovoked monologue from a January stream captures this.
A lot of people, you like have to make the choice of what your mindset is going to be and follow through. And I think for some people, it's like you get into a mode and you're
in the
always
rut.
looking for the negative. Yeah.
I would tell guys this all the time at the bar. You know, the bar I hang out at, it's a dive bar. Okay. There has not been an attractive single chick that walked in that bar in 20 years. There is some truth to the fact that people, what is the saying? Like, people are living the exact life that they want to live. And that does play out. But I feel like compelled to always try and be like, yeah, but do you want to, like, is this fun? Like, there was a point in my life when I was kind of depressed and feeling in a rut, and I would be at that bar 4 nights a week. But like, I had a wife at home, which was even less of an excuse. But like, I saw the same fucking people there every night, the same 10 people every night. And it's like, man, no, like, this is a rut so deep, you're never going to get out of it. Somebody who drank probably 4 to 5 nights a week and has now gone to maybe once every 2 weeks. There's a book I read that is just, it's a really easy read. And I'm not telling anyone, hey, you got to quit drinking forever, because I don't think I ever will. My plan is probably never to quit, but it made it way easier to not drink on a weeknight. You know, it went from like 1 to 2 times a week to like, wait, I drink like 6 days in a row. Like, what the fuck?
In those clips, Jeremy claims he drank 4 times a week, but then it was 6 times a week. The important bit was that he was making peace with his addiction, aiming to drink less rather than not at all. There was a similar approach to his YouTube channel as the Kino Casino were noticing.
Yes.
He got, on January 19th, 20,000 subs. On a day, he got 87,000 views. Okay.
Everyone's like, he bought subscribers. I'm like, no, I was running YouTube ads because things were leveling off. I wanted to see if I could re-engage. The views on that video, 80,000 of them were from my own channel. You get like 2,000 paid views, and it costs you about $2 to find a new subscriber.
Jeremy was now utilizing what he previously called one of the most insulting services YouTube has ever offered him. As a comparison, TheQuartering in January got 10 million views and gained 50,000 subscribers. His peak month in June 2024 was 74 million views and 60,000 subscribers. This is around 7 times the views, yet just 1/5 more subscribers. This is how inordinate Jeremy's subscriber growth was. If 40,000 of those subscribers were paid, then that means Jeremy paid around $80,000 to YouTube in just January. Even stranger, Jeremy had long known how useless subscribers were through YouTube prioritizing their algorithm, but there is the possibility that this same learned behavior from 2008 is still present within him, where sub growth directly translates to dopamine, creating a strange loop where Jeremy is endlessly working to escape his life, is burning himself out and exhausting his money to artificially grow his channel, all done to feel better. What's more, exposing that he does this exposes that he has much more money that he's let on. $80,000 is how much he mentioned the K-Cup machine costs. It still does not stop there, because Jeremy was reviving Unsleep Media also at a cost.
In fact, I have about
$10,000 in product to open up to celebrate coming back.
Jeremy claims he was unbanned by Wizards of the Coast. As for the packs, he was phenomenally unlucky with the cards he received, obtaining many inexpensive, rare duplicates. The pinned and love comment on this video reads, quote, "Thanks for the heads up. Forgot about this channel. Unsubbed immediately. I would prefer an actual rectal prolapse than having to suffer through any content from Jeremy, the walking prolapse." Unquote.
So he live streamed this on the Quartering Live, and it has a grand total in a day of 1,500 views.
Live viewers?
Not live viewers, just replay views.
No! Wait, is this sweater inside out?
It might be inside out, but it looks like it's like a poop thing.
Wait, I don't know, maybe it's just a style. I'm being like a little... Now I'm being
it's
like
inside
extra.
out!
It's inside out!
The Kino Casino reacted to this lengthy stream, and where Jeremy admits to forgetting to go live at the very beginning, which means he was opening packs to no one, and is wearing his sweater inside out. The most shocking event did not even happen in this stream, but a different one.
Ash, emergency.
What's going on?
Quartering just got caught looking at cock porn?
No!
It's on Kiwi Farms!
The eyeball is
This is why I can't scroll Twitter.
That's why I'm out. Like if I'm ever hosting, I'm not logged in because that way it won't. It limits what you can see because I don't want.
There we go.
Yeah, sensitivity. Yeah, I guess I could probably do.
On Twitter, Jeremy claims that tweet suddenly popped up, furious that it did so, even tagging Elon Musk in the process. This tweet received a community note, explaining that Jeremy has in the past been exposed for searching Reddit for forced cream pie, going as far to assume, quote, "It is easy to assume they search porn frequently and get recommended porn in their feed," unquote. Jeremy deleted this tweet. The antagonization of Jeremy had increased sharply, his antagonist now not only utilizing his sexual blunders to expose previous sexual blunders, but also now commenting on his finances and failing channel. Previously, Jeremy spoke about his watches, RC track, and saltwater fish tank. This time, he leaked his Rumble dashboard, presumably on purpose, showing a balance of $904,000. Much of this dashboard does not make sense and works against improving the image of Jeremy. To start, the center notification states that he has been rejected from the Rumble Creator Program. His balance from the last 30 days is $2,594 from 6.6 million views, a tremendously low pay rate, and with the views he has 158,000 hours viewed. This is even less than last time he leaked his dashboard. Now it averages to 86 seconds of watch time per viewer. Jeremy soon after admitted that the balance of $900,000 is false.
This is the super chat that makes him seethe and crash out here. Jeremy, if you have 900K in a Rumble account, why are you asking people for 14K to go to AmFest? And why couldn't you donate the 6K to Toys for Tots? He crashes out about this, and this is the moment where he admits the 900K isn't real.
And I recommend, as a man, as I'm sure you are, you don't worry about other men's money. The idea that I'm not sure what you're talking about with the Rumble money, but I get paid from Rumble monthly, and it's not what people think. You know, it shows a bunch of money in there, but that money doesn't really exist.
So there it is. That's him admitting that the 900K isn't real.
There was a new revelation. It turns out Jeremy did not sell his Neo Geo or even Nintendo collection.
Thought you were selling them off, no?
So he's looking over at his wife. Oh, so he's denying he ever sold them off.
She's like, what the hell?
I sold my Neo Geo stuff a long time ago, but my NES stuff is still around. I still have a good amount of Neo Geo stuff.
This is a fucking lie.
You can only really... Jeremy on 2 occasions claimed that he sold his Neo Geo collection. Once in this tweet to focus on his Nintendo collection, and again when he was pleading to his audience to assist him with the purchase of an $80,000 K-Cup machine. Jeremy in the stream also touched on him promoting his videos, claiming he was spending around $20,000 a month, a large difference from the presumed $80,000. He arrived at the $20,000 figure because he doesn't find it strange to reinvest 20% of his earnings back into his channel, alluding to now earning $100,000 a month. Lastly, he clarifies that he has $20,000 to throw away each month.
If I didn't have 20 to 30 grand a month to advertise my own videos, do you think I would be doing it?
With this revelation, Jeremy's fundraising for events like AmFest seemed even less necessary than before. Regardless, Jeremy in March claimed he is not wealthy.
Isn't Jeremy rich? Why'd be concerned about finances? Well, I'm not rich. Only the rich can own a shipping container, according to fat retards from Canada. Yeah, if only fat retards from Canada were actual people. On Rumble, I have never paid for bots. I don't give a fuck. I have a contract with Rumble that does not care about my minimum viewership, does not care about any of that. None of that. Multi-million-dollar contract with Rumble. Multi-million. And they have never had minimum viewerships or anything like that. So, again, wait, so you aren't rich but willing to risk 100K? Yep, I am. If you can prove that I've ever bought bots for my live streams, I will give you 100,000 USD, or even in Bitcoin, if that's what you want. Just because you're begging us to buy your charity coffee, at the same time you're trying to flex your finances. I'm not begging anyone to buy my coffee. You're living in a fucking loser mindset. Do you have any idea? Like, I sell $150,000 of coffee a month, every month. You think I'm fucking poor? I'm saying I make well over $1 million a year just on coffee. You think I'm poor. So I'm done addressing you unless you put your money where your mouth is.
That last video is where this video was meant to end, and this post by Return of the Mac and Cheese, posted March 24th, was only a footnote. Now, it is the reason this video had to be rewritten to include a new chapter. Quote, yep, I got an anonymous tip from someone who claims to know people who know of Jer IRL that Quartering's best friend is a legit wife-busting bull. I looked into it and can 100% confirm this is real, and dude and his wife swing through the Hambley house to get blackout drunk and hang out in the hot tub and use your imagination, what else? Unquote. Jeremy's friend has stated publicly on Twitter that they are friends. He is also part of the Quartering's Discord server, even given the unique role of Quartering legend. Mac and Cheese then shows Jeremy's friend's Discord ID is GrapeJelly817. There is a Reddit account with this exact same username. The problem was that this post and commentary was hidden, but a bug allowed Mac and Cheese to somehow view the hidden comments. Several comments were made on r/Midwest Hotwives, a subreddit dedicated to lewd photos and swinging, and also the Wisconsin Bulls subreddit. This is specifically dedicated to seeking out a quote-unquote bull, a third party to join in intercourse with a couple, sometimes as one partner observes rather than joining in. And Jeremy's friend, with his real name on Twitter, can be seen petitioning women for sex. This all proving that Jeremy's friend is an active swinger. The rest of the post is full of clips or photos meant to convince readers that Jeremy and or his wife is involved with his friend and or his friend's wife. First of note is this clip considered to be a Freudian slip.
Right? Like, he's got some STD, or clearly he's taking a part in that lifestyle. You know, in my experience, I've never taken part in this lifestyle. But I know I have friends who have, and then obviously I've covered people who have, you know, swingers. Instead of cucking now, they call it hot wifing, which is literally just letting your wife bone other dudes. Yeah.
This post also includes Jeremy's belief that Nick Rekieta, a different controversial creator receiving oral sex from a woman who is not his wife on stream, is not a quote-unquote own, Jeremy's previously leaked search of Reddit for cream pies, the specific type of pornography that appeared on his Twitter timeline when he streamed, a time that Jeremy allegedly posted cuck porn to his Twitter, a fantasy he explained while showcasing an interview with Gina Carano, where he is a loyal friend who sits on the sidelines while Gina would be sleeping with various other individuals before gravitating to Jeremy, Jeremy inviting his friend and his friend's wife over to join him in his hot tub while also commenting on his friend's wife's big old boobs, various other mentions of Jeremy's friend's wife visiting his house sometimes to clean, other mentions of Jeremy acting inappropriately towards women who are not his wife, and finally is this part of Mac and Cheese's closing statement. Quote, obviously nothing here is stone cold proof, but perhaps there is something to the long-term speculation in this thread. Let's just focus on the objective facts. Jer is a pervert and creep. Jeremy's best friend is a bull and swinger. Redacted appears to be wealthy and owns a $1.25 million 6-bedroom, 5-bath home according to public record, yet his wife goes to Quartering's house alone to quote-unquote clean regularly. Jeremy makes comments about his friend's wife's fat tits and how bad wants her in his hot tub while drunk on stream. Jeremy has cuckolded and cuckold-adjacent fetishes, which he publicly exposed. Jeremy openly talks about having sex with women who are not his wife or simps for women and spends massive amounts of money on them with seemingly no fear of being exposed despite having many enemies online and admitting his family and friends follow his online presence. Until recently, Jer and his wife were admitted atheists, and Jer's very obvious hedonistic lifestyle of constant drug and alcohol addictions was tolerated." Unquote. This post has received even more likes and rewards than even the first post on this thread. It is possibly even the most awarded post on Jeremy's thread. As such, the Kino Casino dedicated 5 hours of their 7-hour stream into covering this post and Jeremy in detail, not censoring Jeremy's friend's face or name and promoting the belief that Jeremy is unfaithful to his wife, while also periodically mentioning that this is speculation and their opinion.
Jeremy Hambley is a cock! Jeremy Hambley is a cuckold confirmed! His best friend Adam is a fucking bull that comes over to his house every fucking week and is plowing his wife! It turns out that Sky Roan was a vanilla gorilla all along!
Over the coming days, the coverage of Mac and Cheese's post was reaching Jeremy and bringing even more interest towards him and his shortcomings. Mac and Cheese and the casino were celebrating with a victory lap. Jeremy was none too pleased with what was going on, nor with the Kino Casino.
PPP or Andy Worski, either one of you guys are welcome on my show anytime. Anytime. They would rather insinuate that my wife of 15 years is having an affair with somebody else and put that shit out on the internet like it's a fact, based on nothing, then you know, I've reached out to both of them, and guess what? Neither one of them have replied. I wonder why that is.
On March 30th, Jeremy tweeted to address the ongoing drama, denying that he has an open marriage, and while he's fine with people making fun of him, he claims the harassment has people mailing things to his house and making his wife feel unsafe. Mac and Cheese was twisting the knife, noting how March was Jeremy's worst month ever. Yet it has 18 million views. However, this is explained by Jeremy's strategy of uploading YouTube Shorts, short-form videos that get hundreds of thousands of views yet pay very little. His regular videos this month amounted to around 7.5 million views. Jeremy's channel, at least for his regular content, is declining steeply. To make matters worse for Jeremy and those around him, a detailed dox of Jeremy's friend was posted on QB Farms, alongside a separate post detailing Jeremy's friend's criminal history that includes domestic abuse. On April 3rd, Jeremy again tweeted at the Kino Casino, requesting to have a debate/conversation. He also posted the messages he sent to PPP, and the considerably lengthier and far more numerous messages sent to Worski, likely because of their history covering similar topics in 2018. He'd even petitioned Noel to host the possible debate. Noel responded by clarifying that PPP is after Jeremy's financial information, likely circumventing the debate by mentioning how inconsistent Jeremy is with the status of his finances. Jeremy goes on to claim that he is willing to go on Caleb Hammer's Financial Audit podcast, a request previously made by the Kino Casino. On their stream, they celebrated this development, perhaps too soon.
He's scared of what's being revealed about the bull. He doesn't want anyone digging any deeper into the situation with his bull, into the Nexium cult, and all of this. So he's prepared to agree to fucking anything. Honestly. And we could probably get a lot more out of Jeremy because we hold all the cards. We have all the leverage in this situation. And I told you guys, the house always wins.
Just one day later, PPP on Twitter shared a screenshot of a community strike the Kino Cathedral promo channel received, not to be confused with their main channel Kino Casino Clips. The Kino Cathedral received a strike for harassment and bullying, PPP claiming it was Jeremy who reported the video and is responsible for the strike. Jeremy on Twitter stated, quote, PPP, a random Canadian, only considered stop spreading slanderous lies about my wife, my friend, and family if I gave him 7 years worth of tax forms. Again, a random fucking nobody demanded my tax forms in order to even consider stopping harassing my family and friends. Fuck him. Unquote. Jeremy was not going forward with the Caleb Hammer podcast or any debate for that matter. Later that night, PPP posted again. Another video had been taken down, this time on the Kino Casino's main channel, for violating YouTube's policy on personally identifiable information. PPP will later confirm that it was filed by Jeremy's friend. The way the YouTube strike system works is that after a warning and 3 community guideline strikes, the channel is banned. This means that if just 2 more videos are taken down for a community guideline strike, so would the entire Kino Casino clip channel. Worski reported that Jeremy had shown the TheQuartering YouTube channel was not the source of the initial report. Worski also believing that while it may not have been TheQuartering, Jeremy still has countless other channels. So the possibility of Jeremy being the source of the reports still remains. On the morning of April 5th, Worski stated that their strikes were appealed as to have them overturned and their videos were restored. The looming threat of a ban was seemingly gone. Jeremy, still being blamed for the initial reports, was claiming that if he wanted to get them banned, he could, claiming either Worski or PPP is a ban evader and that their YouTube channel is a walking terms of service violation. Worski retorted by believing this was an admission that Jeremy was behind the reports and also posted his YouTube channel as to show he is not ban evading. Even so, Jeremy continued to tweet, now more menacingly. Quote, "If these clowns keep going after my friends and family just because they don't like me, totally fine. I will in fact take everything they have and never apologize for it. Psycho weirdos are messaging my wife, calling her phone, people are harassing my friends. Roast me, fine. There used to be a line, I don't give a fuck what you say about me. But these psychos are harassing my family, my wife, and my friends. They have no rules, and starting today, neither do I. You guys have spread disgusting, vile lies about my wife. You literally retweeted a Photoshop picture of her, someone who is not on the internet. I strongly dislike you, but would never dream of bringing your family into anything. I don't think it's crazy to expect 2 other grown men to understand that my wife, who is not an online person, to be left out of things. The more they push it, the more I want to become the villain they already accuse me of." Unquote. This was viewed as yet another empty threat, one that brought on even more ridicule. New to the mix was Jeremy's often uttered, inane question, "How was your weekend?" A question Jeremy poses before going on what are viewed as excessive discussions of mundane activities, all in an effort to fill time on his podcast. Jeremy was not being taken seriously. So again, still on April 5th, he reconfirmed his threat. Quote, "First will be your YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion. Easy takedown. And next will be your kick. I literally begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me." Unquote. PPP responded by stating that Jeremy is shameless, has no power anywhere, and is a cuckold. Jeremy then reached out to Null again as a medium to relay a message. He is demanding that the Kino Casino take down their videos attacking his marriage or he will bury them, and that he can burn it all down with his 5 years guaranteed salary at Rumble. In this screenshot, Jeremy claims he has a non-racial slur YouTube representative, and all it would take is one phone call. The medium of communication would become exceedingly important in the coming days. As for Jeremy's threats, PPP posted this message and refused Jeremy's offer, calling it a Mafia Don extortion tactic. That was the final straw. In the early morning of April 6th, Jeremy promised scorched earth. More mockery came as a response to Jeremy's newest threat. Kiwi Farms celebrated both Jeremy's rage and how well-fed PPP from the Kino Casino would be in monetizing Jeremy. As many hours had gone by and Jeremy had failed to make good on his threats, his Twitter replies had become so filled with comments mocking him that even the ones he purposely hid were so numerous they possibly outnumbered the unhidden replies. Even Null commented on Jeremy's inaction. Finally, Jeremy began streaming, and many viewers anticipating the stream both joined and were banned likely for their comments. Null also commented on the stream as Jeremy was not even talking about the Kino Casino, rather returning to his standard programming. The scope of mockery was increasing. More creators were jumping in to denounce Jeremy, often in support of the Kino Casino.
We're still here, Jeremy Hambley of Wisconsin!
It turned out that this was not the first time a threat of the sort came from Jeremy. In 2018, creator Mr. Medicare was fighting with Sargon of Akkad, and had the possibility of getting his channel struck or perhaps even banned just by the act of a viewer donating a racist message. TheQuartering threatened to do such a thing, going as far as to demand to confront him, but only on Medicare's live stream as to send a racist message to possibly get his channel banned. When Medicare failed to agree to Jeremy's terms, Jeremy himself began streaming and accepted a call from Keemstar. It was then that Keemstar added Metokur to the call, assuring the confrontation would happen, just not on Metokur's channel as Jeremy demanded.
You basically said, I can't wait to fucking super chat you 1488. Wink, wink, Jim. Oh my God, are you scared of the audience? You scared of what happened to Ralph? I'm going to super chat you 1488. Wink, wink. Fuck you.
No, that's not what I said.
You're obvious. Fuck you.
That's not what I said.
That was what Jeremy, in essence, said.
You just told me you didn't say it though, but you did. You did. Just like you said, you know.
What a fucking bum. Oh, come on, Jim. Let me get you flagged.
Oh, come on, Jim. Let me run gay ops and deplatform you. It's been a long time.
You don't have a reputation that precedes you. You're just some fucking guy on YouTube like everybody else.
So then why do you assume I would flag your shit?
He kind of does have a reputation. Like, pretty much everybody hates him. And now,
yes. Star from the top.
This 2018 stream had one more standout comment from Jeremy.
Your content isn't even art, Jim. Your content isn't even artistic.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean,
your content isn't artistic.
I know. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
All right, be good. Bye.
As for the Kino Casino stream, it opened with a particularly passionate and directed monologue by PPP, both challenging Jeremy to act and emphasizing PPP's resolve.
You think they'll ever stop fucking with you, bitch? Send the fucking papers, cock! Fucking do it! You'll never do fucking shit!
Do it,
Take down this platform right now! You said that you had the connections. You said to Josh Moon in DMs that you were talking to Eddie from Kick and we would never stream again. Well, I'm still fucking here, bitch. What do you fucking think about that? You're gonna have to drag me out of this motherfucker with a crane because I'm fat as fuck and I've had it with you.
As to continue to undermine Jeremy and highlight his failure, the casino compared themselves to Jeremy's recent humiliating Kick debut.
Here's Jer's Kick debut. An hour and 25 minutes into his stream today, he had the lofty and grand total of 6 viewers on this site. Right now, we have 10,681.
In the early morning of April 9th, and regardless of his inaction, Jeremy tweeted again, stating how easy it would be to get their channel banned, citing PPP, not Andy Worski, as the banned evader. Jeremy, in another deleted tweet, even alluded to getting their Kick channel banned. Just when it appeared that Jeremy was going to take the Kino Casino down, he posted this multi-paragraph tweet, now saying that he should have never implied anything about taking their channel down, and that it was him getting emotional. Even though he is displeased with the rumors they've spread, he also understands the error in oversharing information and how it has become weaponized against him. His new strategy is to write it out. This was not so easily accepted as creators and viewers alike had hardly forgotten about the gravity of Jeremy's previous threats. Jeremy on his gaming stream was getting harassed like never before. This was meant to be the pinnacle of the scandal, the pinnacle of outrage directed at Jeremy. In reality, it was just the beginning. On April 10th, the Kino Casino's biggest channel, their Clip channel, was banned for violating YouTube's terms of service. On Twitter, PPP stated on the matter, quote, "Well, sure to his word, Quartering flagged down our entire Clip channel for quote-unquote ban evasion. He really is the most pathetic worm you could possibly imagine. Free speech warrior my ass, our channel is under attack," unquote. Hundreds of creators and Twitter users were quote-tweeting in support of the Kino Casino. Andy Worski reconfirmed the reason the channel was taken down was for ban evasion, just like Jeremy threatened. Even Andy Worski's main channel was banned just minutes afterward. Jeremy shared this photo and message about receiving a gift from his wife, mentioning that his birthday weekend was kicking off right. The gift was a box of sorts that included decorated playing cards, a die, and even casino chips. This was thought to be a direct reference to the Kino Casino and their banning. Just 1 hour later, the Quartering's weekend took a dark turn. Quote, "In the last 5 hours, people have shown up at my house. Caller ID blocked numbers have called both mine and my wife's phones. My channel has received multiple reports. I assume this is because I made fun of Israel deranged people? This stuff is insane," unquote. As evidence that he was not the source of the banning, Jeremy posted his flagging history for the Jeremy Hambly channel and his Quartering Live channel. Both report histories were empty, even going as far to say that the Kino Casino were wrongfully banned and that they should 100% be restored. Worski, however, was attempting to contact the owner of Rumble, claiming that Jeremy got the Kino Casino banned.
Hambly really fucked up today. He's done the worst possible thing that he could have possibly done.
While there was no definitive evidence that Jeremy was responsible for the ban reason was irregular because it was for posting previously removed content that violates terms of service and posting from creators who have channel restrictions or have been terminated. Neither should have applied to the Kino Casino clip channel. While Worski's main channel was banned alongside the clip channel, allegedly neither had a strike, and the clip channel itself is allegedly owned by their editor, not Worski.
Posting content from creators with a current channel restriction or creators who have been terminated under our terms. Now, we're not banned from YouTube, and it's not our channel. He's not actually attacked our livelihood. We didn't make any money from that channel. We never took a penny from that channel. All of the money from that channel went to our editor Flaked because he has a family.
While deplatforming has become somewhat standard in the online space, Jeremy's contemporaries, as frequent targets of deplatforming, view this action as a sin. Tales of such are remembered even a decade later.
Parallels with Matt Jarbo are really crazy, aren't they? Matt Jarbo got famous for being flagged down by Zoe Quinn. That's how he blew up. That's how he reached the heights that he reached on YouTube. And it all came crashing down when it was revealed that the same thing that he made himself a victim out of, he was doing to others. And here we have Jeremy Hambley doing the exact same thing.
Can I just add this? On entertainment worldwide, on X, we are the most posted about thing on Twitter right now. Above MAGA influencers split over Israel and US foreign policy. That's right. This story is above what the political news is right now.
The news of the Kino Casino's banning had grown alongside disdain for Jeremy, so much so that the casino's ongoing stream was featured on the front page of Kick. Even more creators were coming out to speak against Jeremy. While the Kino Casino covered many of the messages of support and other commentary, the amount of support was too great to where they were forced to present only the most prominent creators, like Brittany Venti, one of the creators that Jeremy made direct sexual comments about during his most infamous drunken stream, and a newly resurfaced different drunken stream.
Let me tell you this about
Show as
Venti.
much as the host do either.
I would give everything I had to have babies with that girl.
Venti, after the clips resurfaced of Jeremy being a creep, a pervert, talking about how he would give up everything that he has in this world, including his wife, his mansion, his YouTube channels, just for a chance to impregnate Brittany Venti, okay? And also clips of him directly being drunk and creepy with her on live stream. She said that she was going to go scorched earth, that she was going to do a stream on Jeremy Hambley exposing him. Well, Jer didn't want this to happen because he's desperate to control the narrative, and that's how we end up where we end up now. So he starts DMing her, saying he's acting a little female coded lately. No doubt, buddy. No doubt, buddy.
To add to Jeremy's comments, it was now being alleged that he attempted to cheat with a porn star.
Why the fuck does she have this? Well, Ralph and her have now come out to say that Jeremy tried to cheat on his wife with Scarlett Hampton. By the way, Scarlett is based in the Milwaukee area, not very far from Jer's home, in his home state.
Jeremy in his stream played the video game Crimson Desert while noticeably becoming more intoxicated and more belligerent at everything that was coming out. The Kino Casino made sure to cover it.
Hey, maiden,
May I be of assistance?
Yeah, can I put a baby in your belly?
Oh, buddy!
This is nothing yet, by the way,
Creeper
folks.
alert!
Watch
Is she holding out for a hero? Gonna force a cream pie in her. There we go.
Oh, there it is! He's owning the cream pie meme, folks!
Her Jew bull cuck husband left her here for me.
Oh, no!
No panic diarrheas. Sorry, you'll have to spend your Thursday night somewhere else.
The Walmart janitor asked if he's having panic diarrhea.
Oh, no.
Jeremy was being brigaded by detractors so fiercely that even several newly promoted chat moderators could not keep up with the constant stream of detractors. This was just on YouTube, as Jeremy was multi-streaming on Kick as well, where his chat ran rampant, until he was notified of it and set it to subscriber chat only. After he did so, not a single chat message could be seen, implying his kick chat was entirely made up of detractors. Opposition against Jeremy was innumerable, and support for Jeremy came down to a handful of creators like Melanie Mack, who released a video this day. She refutes the accusation that Jeremy has ever made her uncomfortable, and the accusations that she is constrained to the podcast due to her finances. She also believes that the hate towards Jeremy is manufactured as a topic of the week, and also believes this is Satan's doing, as Jeremy has recently come to Christ.
I'm truly convinced that it's because that at the root of it, it's because he came to Christ.
Melanie's video was not well received to the point that she turned the comments off. Jeremy took a similar strategy on his Twitter, only allowing what appears to be accounts he follows the ability to reply to his posts. His YouTube channel remained uncensored, now brimming with references to the Kino Casino and Bulls. And then the following day, on April 12th, there were two major developments. First, a different channel known as Alyssa Clips that hosted a video of Noel discussing TheQuartering's recent scandal was hit with a community guideline strike under harassment and cyberbullying. As for the second development, a discovery was made. Just 2 days prior, during Jeremy's stream, he pasted a link to Gmail as a way to access it. Briefly, below the address bar were various different links to emails that Jeremy had received. Two of these email headers read, YouTube support and thanks for your report to YouTube. As this was under the MTGHeadquarters Gmail, an email tied to various accounts, including his Unsleep Media account formerly known as MTGHeadquarters, this was taken as strong evidence that Jeremy was the source of the reports. It did not help that he had failed to show the report history for Unsleep Media. Jeremy, not even an hour later, refuted this, claiming that at least one of the emails were related to his Unsleep Media account being demonetized. Jeremy's statement was not so easily believed as the email lacked the header, meaning it could not be cross-referenced to the links seen in the clip. It also mentions nothing about a report being received as the subject of the email was an appeal. Two far different, distinct types of emails from YouTube support. When asked why he hasn't shown the report history for Unsleep Media, Jeremy responded only by calling the person asking the question desperate. And when asked about why the subject of the email was not tied to the previously seen address bar suggestions, Jeremy outright ignored the question. As another piece of evidence against Jeremy, this creator claims to have reported their own channel with a separate channel they own. What they found is the subject of the email they received is word for word what appeared in Jeremy's address bar suggestion. Additionally, a stream from a smaller creator covering the situation was taken down. Jeremy's email scandal, along with many other developments, would be covered in the Kino Casino's 11-hour April 13th stream. It opens with a newer theory that TheQuartering was able to get the Kino Casino banned not through email, but through a phone call.
TheQuartering made a phone call. He has a contact at YouTube that's high up behind the scenes. God only knows how the fuck he got this contact. But it's a complete cloak and dagger conspiracy with this fellow.
Yeah.
It's so insidious the way that this was done. It was done 30 minutes before the close of business hours in California. The reason it was done like that is so that nobody could contact their YouTube rep until Monday. So we weren't even able to contact our own YouTube representative until noon today Eastern time to begin the process of reversing this. In his DMs with Josh Moon, he says he doesn't even have to flag. He says, I'm not going to flag. All I have to do is make one phone call. That's what he says.
The Kino Casino claims to now have influential creators, such as H3H3, reaching out to YouTube on their behalf. And not only did the Kino Casino claim other large creators backed up their phone call theory, creator Yellow Flash publicly stated it was the case.
Just for your own peace of mind, I pinged one of our guys last night about the quartering drama. His estimation based on the back end is that the casino was taken down from a personal request, you see, exactly like Hambly said it would go down in the DMs with Josh, because all the user reports were deemed nonsense by the automated system all week, except a privacy claim that also failed to hold up to manual review. He's on the security side, but did say this is almost certainly an off-platform point of contact. Call, text, email.
Jeremy refuted this theory. His dismissal of it was hardly satisfactory.
This crazy theory, you mean what you told us yourself, Jeremy? what we showed earlier in this presentation, when you told Josh Moon that all you had to do was make one phone call to take our channel down. This crazy theory from some unknown source. You mean you? The unknown source is literally your own DMs and your own words.
Kino Casino then shifted to covering a long history of Jeremy's hypocrisy involving harassment and how demanding he was for others to show proof of harassment when now he himself was failing to do such a thing. The Kino Casino also covered more of Jeremy's recently uncovered exploits.
When I was in my teens, I had one threesome. It was 2 guys, and it was.
He's participating in sexual acts with other men.
Wait, 2 guys? So 3 men?
Oh, no!
It was 2 guys and a girl. It was 2 guys and a girl, and like.
Wait, why is he acting like he was watching a threesome with 2 guys and a girl? Like the way he's saying it?
What's actually happening here, Jeremy?
It's like third person.
The Kino Casino's banning had triggered a fierce Streisand effect. Normally, these tales of Jeremy only reached the dedicated viewers of their clip channel or live stream. The clip channel's videos rarely surpassed 100,000 viewers. Now, even just this VOD on Kick was more than double that. What's more, the Kino Casino stream had a segment where they shouted out various creators who had tweeted or made videos in support of them. This amounted to 78 creators with hundreds to millions of subscribers. Within were some former and even current friends of Jeremy. Even enemies of the casino were reaching out in support. Never has Jeremy faced such large-scale opposition. And the worst part of it all was that he could not rely on his typical tactics of dismissing the criticism or manipulating the narrative to support him. Even if there was truth to what Jeremy spoke and he had no hand in the casino's banning, the hate towards him was too great and melded with rhetoric from the enemies he's collected from the past 10 years. This is to say that even outside the Kino Casino, Jeremy had made so many enemies that, ostensibly, the collective attack on Jeremy was partly the result of years of pent-up frustration. Years of hiding behind the status of his allies and politics. Years of manipulating narratives to benefit him or dismiss criticism. The day was finally here where Jeremy could no longer hide. He was now entirely unequipped to face these consequences, and entirely exposed to the derogation of the Kino Casino that even previously he was unable to rival. Just typing "weekend" in Jeremy's live chat will result in a ban. His paranoia had grown so great that his regular viewers were not only being exposed to Jeremy's antics through constant brigading of detractors, but also being caught in the crossfire.
I've been a fan of Jeremy since 2017. Why was my other account just banned for asking why there are so many comments getting deleted? This is wild. I'm 63. This is wild. I'm 63 years old and never have I seen this before. But he's banning his boomer audience. Weekend Discusser, the 63-year-old, was just banned. Just straight up.
Weekend Discusser? Wait, his name was Weekend Discusser? That may not be
It may have been a troll. I really want to believe.
The walls were closing in, allies were scarce, viewers were menacing, and this was not even the pinnacle of what Jeremy had to face.
I think he's totally fucked up, if you want me to be honest. I think he's totally fucked up, and I think it was a massive mistake to try to deplatform Kino Casino. Yeah, I mean, he kind of is. I mean, I would say it's something like that. And he's felt he's a cuck, he's finished. Maybe, I don't know.
Asmongold, a top Twitch streamer and creator Jeremy favors, but scantily covered, was not only opposed to him, but also his chat was full of Kino Casino references. Even Melanie Mack was someone who talked favorably of Asmongold just as recent as a week ago, but this screenshot serves more than to just prove that. It is also relevant because she removed nearly her entire catalog of videos on her commentary channel. The videos on screen are all that remain. But as things were heating up, PPP on Twitter, and on the most recent Kino Casino stream, announced that he had a non-refundable family vacation booked. The show would have to return 8 days later on the 22nd. Other creators and the Kino Casino's viewers would have to do for the meantime. On Jeremy's Kick, a lone viewer subscribed to spam the chat full of Kino Casino emotes. The most frequently used is an image exemplifying Jeremy's balding, and on Kiwi Farms it was discovered that Jeremy has the Kino Casino followed on his Kick account. And on the 15th, yet another video was taken down covering Jeremy. Even still, this hardly did anything to slow down the many new videos being made on him. Videos that were outperforming Jeremy's own videos in the YouTube search. Another reason Jeremy's videos are being outperformed by those covering him is that the comment sections are now made up of detractors. These people click on a video for the singular purpose of commenting. Because they only watch a second or two before pausing and leaving, it kills Jeremy's average view duration and makes YouTube promote his videos less and less. That was not the case with Jeremy's YouTube Shorts. These videos have been far outperforming his standard videos. Upon viewing any of these, the reason is rather clear. Jeremy takes a viral video, adds 3 seconds of introductory commentary, and that is his entire contribution. This is a compilation a Twitter user made of such a thing.
Check this out. Check this out.
Well, here we
You should, and this looks like let me know what you think in the comments.
What do you think?
Check this out. Again, check this out.
Jeremy was not pleased with the criticism directed at his YouTube Shorts.
All right, well, that is the show for today. I've got to do a bunch of low-effort short slop that everyone's really mad about. I've got to do that, even though everyone does it, and, you know, instead of complaining about it, you could just do it yourself.
Jeremy's main channel content was far underperforming. His shorts were being criticized for lacking critical commentary needed to satisfy fair use. Yet he still had Rumble. He is both looking forward to a massive year on the platform who claims to always have his back. On one of the tweets, creator Nicholas Diorio commented, quote, "Didn't you just stream to 82 people there the other day?" Unquote. Jeremy did not respond. Separately, Jeremy advertised how easy it is to get a Rumble deal. Yet, Jeremy's chuffed attitude quickly failed to reveal his penetrating rage. It was here that he sarcastically and furiously claimed that everything that has been flagged ever was him. He also doubled down on not taking a break on account of the harassment of his staff. This led into yet another, presumably drunken tirade. Another sign of Jeremy being undone, as he had claimed to have quit alcohol cold turkey just a few days prior. Perhaps this was the reason Jeremy was lashing out even more heavily. On April 17th, Chris Pavlovsky stated that no creator has a 5-year deal with Rumble or even close to it. Jeremy's 5-year $1 million contract with Rumble was a sham. As if this day could not get any worse for Jeremy, the H3 podcast dedicated yet another episode to him, covering his old and recent scandals, even recontextualizing the basement peeing event.
He's angry that his wife went for pizza without him. And I'll give credit to Diorio for this, and it makes a lot of sense. He was like, I wonder if that's code for fooling around with other people.
H3H3 even commended PPP for his dedication, deeming him to be one of, if not the most dedicated, passionate, and entertaining troll. Jeremy had set everyone against him, but he appeared unrelenting when on the 18th, yet another video was taken down. This time it was a video by Luther Morgan, the author that wrote a book on lolcows that Jeremy unwittingly promoted. Luther in his removed video reinforces the notion that Jeremy does not roast his coffee. In a separate event, and even though Jeremy had made it a point that his wife is not at all in the public space, he posted this image of his wife. This image is sourced from Jeremy's lengthy YouTube community post. In said post, he denies the cuck allegations, states they've been doxxed, and have people showing up to his house, etc. While Jeremy's claims could be true, he has failed to show evidence of these happenings. Furthermore, he's using the exact same strategy to deflect criticism from him that he used in 2020 when H3H3 made their content court on him. Though the Kino Casino and the return of the mac and cheese allegations are far more offensive, Jeremy has invited speculation on his marriage, not just from various clips of him talking about his wife, such as in the basement peeing clip. He has also made countless sexual comments towards various women, live with little remorse. It is an undeniable fact that Jeremy is a persistent sexual harasser who frequently expresses interest in other women. And it is also possible that Jeremy, in continuing to post images of his wife, is inviting even more harassment. The internet sees him as the target, and the more he discusses the harassment those close to him are receiving without evidence, the more it appears he is using them as a shield, which makes those against him even more aggressive. Even the comments on this post are asking for receipts or any evidence, such as a Ring doorbell recording. This tweet also expresses some of these grievances. Quote, "Stop looking at it, sharing, and commenting about the photo of my wife that I, TheQuartering, posted publicly on an account with 2 million subscribers. She's a private person who is terrified over harassment of what I post online. I just want you to leave my wife alone." Unquote. With each post, tweet, and livestream, Jeremy, even with the absence of the casino, was unable to escape the near-endless mockery, and the casino was set to return in just 4 days. As the days passed, Jeremy's anxiety grew. On the 21st, the day before the casino was meant to return, Jeremy on Twitter announced that for the first time in 3 years, his live stream with Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire would be going on break and would be returning May 4th. Jeremy claims this was a decision that was spurred on by burnout. As a result, PPP extended his own vacation by 2 days, calling Jeremy's reasoning bullshit, cowardly, and lazy. PPP adding that the delay would be better for it. This was a prophetic tweet. As if this stream was not delayed, these tweets likely wouldn't have been included or perhaps even posted. Tweets of Jeremy, yet again, announcing mutually assured destruction, claiming the receipts are on his side and calling creators Yale Flash, starting Craig, Brittany Venti, and Geeks and Gamers losers. As Jeremy continued to tweet, he reminds everyone that he cut his teeth in the most ruthless time that ever existed on YouTube. Jeremy was using his ace in the hole. He was leaking his private messages with Stuttering Craig, threatening to leak their grander chat history. Right after Jeremy streamed for 2 hours, visibly drinking while remarkably struggling with simple tasks such as moving 3 sacks within a camp or raising a banner, tasks that took him about 30 minutes and 10 minutes respectively, Stuttering Craig on his side-scroller's channel preemptively leaked the private messages between him and Jeremy. The question was, what was so damning within these messages that was Jeremy's ace in the hole? The answer was nothing. Their chat history shows a mild-mannered Craig periodically reaching out to Jeremy, sometimes to invite him on his show, to ask if Jeremy would have him on his show, inquiries about rumored projects, and other forms of business-related talk, none of it explosive. With the bombshell revealed to be nothing more than a dud, Jeremy was now stating that the last 5 hours was simply done to kick the hornet's nest. A rather strange motivation, considering how he has been alleging that unwanted attention has brought on terrible harassment to those close to him. Now, even Bearing, Jeremy's friend and co-host of The Incredible Salt Mine, made a video on him, asking Jeremy to quit drinking while also emphasizing how his threats towards the casino were indefensible. And now Mudahar, a creator with 3.8 million subscribers, made a video on Jeremy, exposing him to a wider audience and covering things like his YouTube shorts. Ridicule of which had in a very short time span, evolved to where several creators were tagging their intros leading up to Jeremy's intro of his own short.
In today's totally transformative content, there's a whole lot of people that are wondering what the heck these oranges are for. Let me know in the comments.
So there's a reactception happening around a fat guy who steals people's content. Tell me what you think in the comments.
Guys, this is crazy. I just saw this video about these oranges and I'm still trying to figure out what they're for.
TheQuartering's been busted for stealing shorts.
This guy literally steals other people's videos, adds an intro to it, and then uploads it as his own. What do you think of that?
But what are the oranges for? Well, I bet it tasted good. Let me know what you think.
What are the oranges for? Presumably, their acidity is meant to tenderize the meat. The point is, Jeremy will not answer this question because it is an inane comment that hardly does anything to transform the video. But it provided Jeremy's detractor base with yet another quotable line. This is why orange emojis, or the mention of oranges, can be seen spread across Jeremy's content. H3H3 was one of the creators jumping on this recent shorts trend.
How drunk do you have to be to do this? Check this out.
Here's a milk. And we got, oh boy, we got a thick girl right there, boys. Rawr. Oh, here's another one. If I did see a girl in a chainmail bikini, you know we would have got her on camera. This is in Bristol, Wisconsin. Ooh, her cup overflows. She's a little bit old, but she overflows. MILF, yeah. She's keeping it tight. You know she DTF. She got kids.
The clip H3 sourced was once sourced from a recently uncovered livestream of Jeremy at a Renaissance fair, and that clip was only the tip of the iceberg. User Reardon Steele uploaded several choice clips on the QB Farms.
I know, I want to put some babies in some bellies here, huh? Like, hey, baby. There's a couple hundred people watching right now. You want me to put a baby in your belly? Can you point me to the brothel?
I would never know where such a thing is, my lord, I'm afraid.
Well,
as I'm a very happily married man.
Gotcha. I'll keep walking.
On the night of the 24th, this and more was uncovered on the Kino Casino's highly anticipated return show.
Had he just let us continue doing what we were doing, he probably would have been fine. But instead, he pissed off the entire fucking internet. Everyone. And what I mean by the entire internet, I really mean the entire internet.
Among the updates to the casino moving to Rumble and the belief that their clip channel, while still being appealed, is gone forever, the casino showed many clips from Jeremy's Renaissance Fair stream. This one in particular stands out.
This is one of the saddest clips I've ever seen.
Disgusting.
It's such a telling clip where he says he doesn't, not only he doesn't love his wife, he doesn't even care about his wife.
It's weird, but I don't really connect with people in real life. Like even my wife, I don't really care.
Even his wife, he doesn't even care.
It's fucked up. It's probably not normal.
It's not normal.
But I crave companionship of...
What? You're married? You crave companionship?
Listen to what he says.
But I crave companionship of anonymous people online. I feel like so often I just leave it all behind and go get like a 2-bedroom apartment. Really
he wants to leave it all behind.
It's not sad. Don't be sad. It's not sad.
It is really sad. It's one of the saddest clips I've ever seen.
The casino would go on to show many more comments Jeremy has made expressing his interest in other women. Among the videos showcased was Luther Morgan's second video covering Jeremy, provoked by the takedown of his first video. The second one goes into even more depth, not only on the mysteriousness behind Jeremy's undeclared roasters, but also the various infractions involving the coffee's packaging.
I wasted 40 of my own dollars to get coffee brand coffee.
Luther Morgan, in his video, explained how Jeremy, with his coffee brand coffee, is breaking Amazon's rules, not following FDA labeling guides, and breaking FDA code by not labeling the manufacturer or distributor, the flavor additives, the expiration date, nor the added caffeine content on any of the bags Luther purchased. As another blow to Jeremy's business, it was found that the trademark for coffee brand coffee was abandoned. And with that, the last of Jeremy's hope to escape his endless grind narrows. Just as was with the Publica, Exclusively Games, GameFinder, RCNightmare.com, and many more failed or failing projects, Jeremy in the past 2 decades has left a trail of failure, as failure is an unceasing force that leads him. Such is the fate of a man with no talent, no principles, and no ambition. The only driving force Jeremy has is to earn money, and the reason he earns it is to quell his anxiety. But the more he suppresses it in this manner, the stronger it becomes, and the stronger it becomes, the more reliant he is on it. And finally, the house of cards have come crashing down, and Jeremy has a significant toll to pay. Years of escaping his issues with the growth of his channel and the money earned through his grift are no longer areas he can escape into. His new strategy of uploading an absurd amount of YouTube Shorts is an expected, desperate strategy taking low effort, meaningless content to its maximum, as the only variable Jeremy can control to grow his channel is content frequency. This is his channel's swan song. At the end of it, he faces not only a growing list of eager enemies and a tattered reputation, but also a deep lack of personal connection and everything else he has been avoiding. It is ironic that a man that has built a career in sowing division, in spreading misinformation, and in eroding trust has unified so many, even if only as opposition against him.